But there was never even a moment in the game where there was a battle going on.
There was.
There wasn't.
There were a couple of them where we had Pokemon out in the field. And
In the
trainers
field?
with Pokemon.
No.
That's how we saw the Hisuian Zoroark.
That was a picture, wasn't it?
No, that was a clip in the trailer.
Which trailer? Because it's not in this one.
Which one are you looking at?
The one on the Japanese Pokemon channel. It's the first trailer.
No, there's been like little bits that they've used in the Pokemon show they have in Japan.
JP Japanese TV.
There's something about that was pointed out that something was off with the battling. It could just be a translation error, for all it's worth.
But I mean, after Riddler Kuzov put out that riddle, because apparently he's been quite reliable in the past for leaks, so to speak. So it sounds likely that something about a third typing will be the gimmick.
Well, I'd say if it's what like the early rumoring thing was of the some sort of ability to change type, but then at the same time that's just we already have that as an ability on some Pokemon. So it kind of feels like a redundant thing to do. So I don't know what we're.
Yeah, the other 2 months, April was gave us a picture from Pokemon Masters, and he basically done a bunch of annotating on it. And the theme for April was mascots. The one thing that people seem to have pointed out for it is the 3 typings that are at the top on there, which are some of the things he'd circled. And those typings were in order: fighting, dragon, electric. So people are thinking maybe it's going to be one of them is fighting dragon and the other one's electric dragon.
That or those are the 3 final form typings.
True, because mascot. Which, yeah, when you think about the actual starters, people are thinking that, the Quaxly's going to become a fighting type. And, I mean, Fuecoco is quite obviously a reptile.
Yeah, but oh wait, which one was that one?
The fire type.
Yeah, after all these years doing the dragon type fire starter, I mean, for all these years, no. Because come on, we spent so many years where it should have been Charizard. No, if you're gonna finally do it.
Yeah, and then grass electric.
I mean, obviously we got Hisuian Voltorb Electrode, but then I admit it, obviously because of they can't really do much.
Although, if we're thinking about it in order from left to right, and Pokédex order, technically it would be grass fighting.
Which we just have with Decidueye, and we also have Chestnut.
Yeah. Then Fire Dragon, and then Water Electric. Which kind of sounds a bit boring.
Yeah, but Lantern, there was a time where Lantern was really good in the meta.
True.
Call if you need me.
So, just because of that typing. The only thing that was holding Lantern back was the fact it was weak to Earthquake, which is such a heavily used move in the meta.
Yeah.
But having Volt Absorb or Water Absorb as its main abilities were very, very powerful.
Mm.
So, yeah. So yeah, it's not... Water Electric isn't a bad type comboing at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that
The only...
they're all a bit ones that we've, you know, all seen.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we've already seen, you know, Fire Dragon, Water Fighting, and Grass Electric.
The Water Fighting, though, is only Poliwrath, and obviously that's a Gen 1, so we haven't really had any... At least it's coming to the top of my head.
Actually, we did also just have Urshifu.
No, I thought it was Dark.
One of them was Dark Fighting. The other one
I keep thinking it's Dark and then the secondary type.
No, it's Fighting is the primary one.
I keep thinking Urshifu is Dark Fighting then Dark Water.
No. Because it's obviously the whole
But obviously that
yeah,
Urshifu feels though more akin to legendaries though.
Yeah.
Even though I know he's not officially registered as one, he has that feeling.
Yeah. Because I mean he's the mascot of a DLC.
Mm.
The one for this month is no one's
and
really...
obviously no one wants firefighting again.
Yeah. The one for this month is very bizarre because they've basically posted two pictures. One which is like a bull knocking over a guy, you know, with a red cape thing.
Which the Mythbusters proved to be not a realistic outcome.
And it's like they've tripled up the bull pictures on the right, and then they've put numbers on it, like 1 question mark, 2 question mark, 5 question mark. And then the second one that they gave was a white sheet which just has the combinations of numbers and letters, which are 9A, 30, 2 question mark, A5, 5 question mark, 73, 3C, 4 question mark, E2, 3 question mark. So, yeah. No one really knows what the question marks could be. Yeah. Although the one with the bull one, people were speculating that, well, because the theme for these pictures is regional variants, basically regional form. So the bull one, because there are 3 bulls pictures and there's a
Tauros, Miltank, Buffalant.
Yeah, the 1 being Tauros, the 2 being Miltank, and then the 5 being Buffalant, because those are the regions that they were from.
Yeah.
The generations. So it's probably the case that it's relating to the bull trio.
Which is kind of weird because obviously Buffalant is technically a different species.
True, but maybe they want to link them together.
I know, it's just the whole... It's a buffalo, not a cow.
And the last...
Although it's still a bovine, but you get the point.
The second one, with all the numbers, people were putting in the individual things into the hexadecimals and getting like a number from them, and then seeing what the number corresponded with on the Pokédex. But if we're going by the idea that 2, 3, 4, and 5 are like, you know, meant to be the regions with the question marks, you know, it doesn't quite add up, because that would have to mean that there's similarities with all these things, because one other thing he said was each picture meant one regional form. Which again is kind of odd. Because if you've got like 2, 3, 4, and 5 representing the different regions, then what's in common with those 3 regions?
Well, you said 2, 3, 4, and 5, so there's 4 regions.
4 regions, yeah. Well, what do those have in common?
Well, like I said, the 3, 4, and 5 at least all have a bovine thing. Well, sorry, 2, 3, 5, not 4.
No, 1, 2, 5.
1, 2, 5, yeah. The 4 doesn't fit in.
Neither does 3. Because I mean, this other one is blank, obviously.
I guess.
No picture. It's just.
Although bear in mind, there doesn't necessarily seem to be like reasoning behind some of the Pokemon they've chosen with regional variants. I mean, geez, look at Meowth. It's got 2 regional variants.
Okay, so if they're going on the fact that these are 1 regional form each, then what if? Because there is an arrow pointing to the bull tamer guy. So what if he's trying to point at the fact? Oh yeah, the 3 bulls. The Miltank, Tauros, and Bouffalont. But what if it's actually a Pokemon that becomes, one of these bull tamers in a regional form? Because that's 1 regional form. Then, if you're talking about 1 Pokemon getting that. But then, like, how do even the others? How does the other one work? The hexadecimal things, you get Meganium, Venonat, Ladybird, Mantine, Poliwag, and Kangaskhan. So, yeah, bit odd.
I can say one bit with Revice. They've already nerfed Thunder Gale.
Yeah, how come?
Veil.
Oh, alright.
He tanked a 2-hit combo Rider Kick from it. And shrugged, and literally was just like, that all you got?
Right. Okay, so new form needed.
Yep.
Give him his 7th form.
Oh, and Veil has the powers of all the other base form modes.
Great.
Yeah, because after he got his physical body from GIF, the director just gave him a ton of Vice stamps to be stamped with. So while fighting him, they went into, obviously, first off they switched to Megalodon, and he just went, okay, now I have the arm blades as well. Then duplicated on Kong, Eagle, and Lion.
Right.
And so then Iki was just like, okay, screw this. Thunder Gale, and yeah. Rider kicked him.
Thunder Gale, go!
Yeah, did the full Rider kick, even launching themselves back into him to do the second hit. And he just stood there, just like... he just stood there as they even launched into him. He's just like, bring it.
Wouldn't it have been funny if it actually destroyed him? It's like, ah, crap, it's much stronger than I thought. Oh, God. The Jungle Gundark is on sale at the moment on the cartel market. There's a mount, kind of like the one I have, but you know, it's the Rancor.
Yeah.
I've got some login stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, they really... But yay, congratulations, you... And that's the problem, when they bring these final forms in this early, they pretty much just nerf them instantly. Just so we can have the excuse of, oh hey, how about we now do the base form with just a new gimmick device.
Yeah. But I mean, Thunder Gale wouldn't even be the final form. Thunder Gale would be the equivalent of, you know, the dragon form, like the elemental dragon from Saber.
Yeah, but then they went weird with Saber with the whole cross Saber element.
Yeah, but that was technically his final form, was the
Which cross Saber mode?
Just the base.
Because he had the base form, he had the upgrade, the version which was, the Crimson Dragon equivalent, and then he had one which used all 3 elemental books.
Okay, bad example.
And plus, then he could also do any other combo of books he wanted in it, so it was just like, yeah. That's why I say, Cross Saber is a really bad one to be like, yeah, this is technically the final form, because it can evolve itself even more.
It's the equivalent of the Geo's, the Zeo Trinity. So like the mid-season.
I mean,
sort of.
Yeah, well, technically, that's where Jack Revice got introduced at the point of. That's what I say. The problem they've had with the Reiwa era is the evolving nature of the forms has just been so screwed up now. Especially because of this whole, hey, let's just use the base form as the final form, but give them a new thing of the gimmick, which, yeah, it made more sense in Saber, at least, than it did in 0-1. Especially following an entire plot line about the death of 0-1 and the birth of 0-2.
Yeah. It's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah. Again, if I would have had less of an issue if he at least used the Progrise key in the 0-2 driver. Because at least it still feels like it's a 0-2 thing.
But no, they just built another 0-1 driver.
Yep, and in the film, Aruto just goes back to being 0-1 and Izu becomes 0-2.
Yeah.
But then in the other films, Aruto has the 0-2 driver, and the 0-1 driver that got built then gets given to Fua. Because, yeah, consistency.
So which one does he prefer? Does he prefer using 0-1 or 0-2?
Don't know. They really don't know.
Where the heck are we? Would help if we were in the same instance.
Yeah. But yeah, that they really haven't. Because what was it?
Going to Axial Park North. Quick travel. Although I could have taken the roller coaster again. That'd been fun. Oh well. Right. So we did your bit. So now we gotta do my bit.
Wait. No, I think we did your bit.
No, we did yours. Your bit was the last bit. We did.
Yeah.
We ended a new one. Now. Rex.
Oh well, we did the intro bit of my one because I've got
Yeah.
the rest of my bit to the south.
But we didn't get the intro bit for my one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the new Vice stamp Sakura has is a Shedule.
Shumil.
Yeah, or Hashibiriko in Japanese.
That's really cool.
But it's kind of looks like a cross, but it's like a relative of the stork. Kind of looks like a stork crossed with a bit of a pelican.
Do we know which rider this one's based off of?
Hibiki.
Hibiki.
Yes, people have actually noted there is a colouring thing on the Vice stamps for what riders they're connected with. You know that?
Hibiki?
Yeah.
I swear... Jane only used Showa
Yeah, that's the thing.
ones.
But people have noticed that the colouring as well also affects the era. Because, like, you know the marbling colour on the back of all the stamps? If it's blue, they're all Heisei and Reiwa. If it's this sort of blackish white colour, it's Showa. And then pink is just rider variations.
What marbling?
Right, you know the back of the Vice... Right, you look on the Vice stamp, you've got that back piece. People refer to that colouring because it's done like the way marble is done.
When you say the back piece, do you mean like the railing?
Well, that whole back plastic bit. So you've got the front piece, which is obviously the animal and then the rider that they are. And then you have the rest of it.
Right. Oh, I see I see the marble effect.
Yeah. All the ones that are blue are Heisei and Showa riders. Even though they list it on the wiki as the white ones, it's more like a black, sort of like a shade of black, which are the Showa. And then pink are any, like, rider form variations.
Well, that's not strictly true. Because when I look at Spider Vice Stamp, which is for demons...
That's considered a personal Vice stamp.
So what do you mean by...
Because if you look behind the spider, you can see the demon's head.
Yeah. But, personal. So there's a difference between personal and rider?
Personal ones are the base form stamps,
Yeah.
which obviously have that individual rider on the back. the colouring doesn't seem to apply for their personal ones. It's all the auxiliary ones. But yeah, Hashibiriko is blue, whereas all the other two she has, which are Peacock and Turtle, have the, like I said, the wiki says white. It's, like I say, more it's more black. And the same. And then if you look at like Butter, Mole, Scorpion, and even the Alomari Carlos one, which Tekka added to the demon stuff, they're all Showa riders as well. The Anomalarius is black for the rider.
I just saw some ones based on build. The builds riders. Kirin, aka Giraffe, is Grease. Chicken is Cross. And Dung Beetle is Rogue. They made Rogue a Dung Beetle.
I mean, but anyway, yeah. So, yeah, it's just a weird bit there, which I didn't even realise. Like, there was like a form of color coding on the stamps for like which era their past rider is from.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea either.
But at least that's what people have noticed. Whether that's just
Tricera Vice stamp is Agito.
Makes sense. Agito is meant to be an ancient warrior, so
yeah. Buffalo O's. Marlin Saber, obviously. I mean,
yeah, that one was because that was the promo with the film.
Let's do the group phase one first. What else have they got on this?
Checking in, General Aves. Captain Kintaro.
But yeah, the other little bits.
Oh yeah, I see it. Like a black marbling effect.
Yeah.
Instead of the blue marbling effect. P-Foul is ZX.
Yeah.
Turtle is V3. Bata is 1.
Well, yeah. Which makes sense. You had to do that for the OG rider.
Yeah. Mole is Amazon.
Yeah.
We have the Force on our side. Failure isn't a possibility.
Scorpion is X.
And then, as I say, the Alomanari Blarius is black.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is a really awkward name, that one.
Anomalocaris.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's black.
Condor gets the next colouring because it's a rider variant, as they count it as.
Oh, I see what you mean. Rider variant. Like a variant from the rider that it's based on. So Condor, because it's based on Common Rider Joker, it's pink.
Yeah, though obviously, which is technically a variant of Double for the basis of it all.
And then White Leo, which is the White Lion, is Cougar Amazing Mighty.
Yeah. Because that is just a form variant, so.
Quetzalcoatlus is Fi's Axel.
Which is kind of funny because when they use the Pterodon Vice stamp, the armoring on Revi looks like Fi's Axel to start with. Whoops. But then it's meant to be his main high-speed form, so. But yeah, that's just a very, very unfortunate. Yeah, that should have been a case.
About the shoe bill. Do you like what you see in my name?
Thank you.
Yeah, as I got some extra cartel credits and I got the rename Legacy
Yeah.
name, and because previously it was a pretty crappy name. It was Overdragon.
I had not noticed, so...
Well, that's I didn't reveal it. I just had it,
Uh,
hidden. But I've hated it for ages, and but I finally got around to just changing it to just a Mandalorian clan.
can I just teleport on the table?
You made it through. Did the Republic have any information about
Yeah,
Bad news.
the other bits within the episode we get, Vice goes into Sakura's mind to check on Love Cove.
Used to be a small matter called
Turns out Love Cove is a fan of death metal.
bristling with defenses, turrets, force fields.
Uh,
But after someone betrayed
Yeah, because he has, like, Vice has this really heartfelt
Saw protecting the
chat to Love Cove and then realizes she's not listening to him and pulls the headphones off and you just hear death metal playing super loud.
Jesus.
Yeah,
well, I suppose she is a demon.
I know, but it's also kind of funny though. The pacifist demon with the, what would be considered, a typical girly room because it's a female demon. And yeah, she just listens to death metal.
The main door is Durasteel.
So
With a full security
yeah,
system.
that's. But yeah, George's dad, obviously, as you'd have expected, fixed the Libra driver,
force field, secure doors.
but he had to get George to do the new stamp for it.
That force field
Which, well, George said he wasn't going to help him for nothing.
Jedi.
And we do get a quick glimpse in the next episode that George, on his computers in his lab, now has the data for the Veil driver and the Kabuto stamp.
Not seeing.
And obviously,
Once the
he's got, and I think we know why he wanted that data.
people past the force field.
So he can complete Overdemons.
Now, red team
Yeah.
Because, yeah, people are pointing out a lot of the Overdemon suit is just retooled from the Veil rider suit.
fight hard.
So, which, yeah, okay.
Welcome any insights you
But
have.
George also does note he is running against the clock to finish the work off.
We can get to the power generators. We disable them, the big door unlocks.
So,
We should assign a
which
blue team to disable
kind
those
of interesting.
A very small group would
He also does say, I need to get it to him. So it really is implying that they are going to return the driver to Hiromi.
Your droids would make short
So-
work of security.
Maybe Overdemons will
need your help later.
heal him.
Protection isn't work.
Well, bear in mind, remember, the problem purely was Vale just consuming his life force.
Go to Guardian Hold
Yeah,
4
because I
to help
mean,
the team. Are you ready?
for Iki's dad, he
I'd like
was
to go over this
you know,
once again.
gonna
Use
die,
sensors around
but then
Axial
he was
Park to draw out
saved
the
through the
Imperials
vice
and get them to drop their
stamps.
force field.
Well, he was saved through gift cells being infused into him,
Generators are down.
Yeah.
The main door
which the
unlocks.
kids have all
maybe-
inherited.
Find our
Yeah, and
traitor.
this form variant is a variation on Vale's suit, and Vale was the direct consequence of the gift cells being infused into the father. So maybe this might help, heal Hiromi through
Yeah.
like same sort of method-ish.
Unfortunately,
Well-
I've seen many faces since we last spoke.
I'll have to wait and see exactly how they're going to do that. But, yeah, Daiji gets his butt kicked by the director
I'm a man of my word, Jedi.
because he decided to go and confront. And, yeah, the doctor is still alive. She's just being kept in this sort of trance-like state.
So,
And
Imperials getting you down?
first gay relationship in Kamen Rider show, is it?
Potentially, I don't know what they're doing with Aguilera.
We're about to assault a fortress in Axial
Because
Park.
I just see
It
in
has
the I
turrets
saw
and enemy
last night
soldiers
in
courtyard.
the preview for next episode, it's just like Aguilera saying "I love you."
Yeah,
It's like
Don't get any funny ideas.
is
I know.
had a
it's-
feeling that was probably what they were trying.
Yeah, I mean, because they've now separated her off of the Queen Bee demon. So
Alan signing off.
So she's human again.
yeah, and she and Sakura's brought her in to help at not Phoenix, Weekend. Which, it was kind of obvious that that was where she was probably going to end up in the end. Though George's dad does now have the stamp, and there has been some rumours for a bit that Aguilera's going to be getting a repaint of the Libra driver. So...
I mean, she definitely seems like she wants to fight. So I think, yeah, I think she is probably going to become a rider. Because it just kind of makes sense for her character.
Yeah. So...
As for the other one, I can't remember.
Well, his stamp was taken by Phoenix, and that's in the director's office.
Yeah, so he's probably not going to be a rider.
No.
I mean, he doesn't seem like a rider
We'll just
type,
do
to
the
be honest.
same
He
to one of those
seems...
cities.
Yeah. He'll be like
kind of like...
his would be like as a joke thing, a bit like Brain got in the
Yeah, I was
stuff.
thinking exactly of Brain there, yeah. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have like that rider spirit.
Although, like, I could see him like or even temporarily donning the Demon's Driver once George finishes all the modifications.
Possibly, yeah.
Because I mean, that's clearly the main focus of George's modifications, is so it does not need a demon to be fueling it.
I think he does also realize though that Aguilera's in love with Sakura, because I think that's partially why he was crying.
Well, like I said, we'll have to see properly where they go with it. So, oh yeah, you know how I was mentioning yesterday about some of the early season ideas for the show? Obviously, the big one was the original plot line, or at least like the base concept for the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one other one which was shot down very, very early. The lead rider was pitched as a female.
Yeah, that sort of thing is always going to get shot down by Toei, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Toei shot that down. Bandai were all in for it. Because some people assumed it was Bandai that shot it down. Because, you know, the toys are marketed at boys.
Yeah.
But no, it was they were all in for doing it because...
I mean, they've been making female rider belts now for a while. It's
yeah, but they've never
difference?
made the proper female rider belt, because obviously you look at the toy for the Libra driver, it is more sized to go on a girl, whereas obviously the mounting frame for the shot riser wasn't quite right for them. They had to sell. They actually had sold on the premium Bandai bit. A couple of months later, an actual alternate belt piece, which had the notches set slightly differently, because the existing notches didn't quite work. Right. What exactly?
What are we doing here?
Oh, we didn't go. Are we not
Imperial
quite?
forces at the Republic trenches. No, we need.
Oh, we're not quite there yet.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think.
It's up here.
I mean, maybe that's why they were going with pink for the primary color. Maybe because they were.
We don't know. It's never been made clear how early this was. How early in the pitching this was shot down.
Unless things change, really, I don't really see them doing a female. I think before they do a show with a primary female, they'll probably want to do one where the primary riders, there's two of them again.
Ironically, that was kind of one of the early ideas on Saber.
I know, I remember. Have one of.
It was meant to be a
two
brother-sister
robots.
combo.
Yeah, but then they kind of became the two at the base. But yeah, like, just... Oh dear.
Yeah, there's just like a few.
But yeah, just... If you start off one which has a male and a female as the primary riders, then I think then you can kind of then have them explore into doing a show with a female protagonist. It's gonna be like a slow thing.
Yeah.
And they can't do it next series because doing 2 series back to back with duo rider protagonists is not really gonna work well, I think. Well, they're not gonna want to do something too similar to what they already did in the last one. I say as they constantly do things which just are exactly the same as what they did in the previous seasons. Hey, let's do an evil form. Why the hell can we not get up this?
Don't know.
What the hell? Ah!
There.
Ah! Alright, let me get my rankle. There we go. That worked.
Yeah, it seems to be they want some sort of berserk form each year as well now.
Yeah.
At least, like, Jack Revice did it differently.
Yeah. Different rider though. No, different you know, showrunner for this one. Or direct, I don't know. Different, new guy in charge of it.
Well, they have a new, like, lead each year, pretty much, so...
Well, often it's, you know, someone who's already done Rider before. This guy hasn't done Rider before.
Yeah. So,
And I'd say it's actually working out well.
yeah.
I can actually, you know, the villains of this show actually have a purpose.
I've got more important things to do.
You know, the dead mans, they actually have a proper purpose. But, hell, I can't even remember the name of the original bad guys from Saber.
Yeah, and it was like, well, what did they do?
Yeah.
Wait, it's still here?
Yeah.
It's about time you picked up. Damn, it's near death. Hanley and Chris are much
Well,
better.
I'm just going to press spacebar to skip through.
Yeah.
I'll have the imps off.
Oh, there's a network. My squad.
I can see why.
Don't forget about my squad. They shot.
There you go.
There we go, that was... Oh, there was a 2-part quest, that was it?
I don't know. No, it wasn't.
Well, no, because I certainly didn't have 2 extra... I don't know now.
The one of them we got from the person that after we left from the place where we got my one.
Oh, I just really wasn't. And then...
Yeah, I mean, Aguilera definitely seems like someone who would become a rider at this point.
If not
I mean,
now, again, they might throw something out in an expanded materials.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, the rest are all further down.
I just don't see the other one becoming a rider.
Like
He
I
seems
said,
definitely more.
they'll do him as either a joke. Well, it will be done as a joke sort of thing. Like I said, if anything serious, it's going to be him like trying to use the demon's driver and maybe not lasting very long in it.
And like these guys, the dead men actually have, you know, they're more interesting, much more interesting. Like some of them actually have like, you know, you end up starting to like them, like, you know, Aguilera and the other one.
I mean, or
Name like.
yeah,
Or Tekka was just.
yeah, but that was basically what he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aguilera was raised in a cult, so I mean, technically the whole thing was a cult, but you know, she was the one who suffered the worst for it.
But yeah, at least like Tekka actually kind of did something impactful. Because like I just.
Yeah, yeet Hiromi off a ledge and not make certain he actually killed him.
Oh yeah. But like, I just can't remember anything that the other guys did, and like I said, I don't even remember their names. That's how bad they were. Saber in general wasn't done that well. Like, in hindsight, it is kind of like Ghost 2.0.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with the writer. Like, again, Ghost started off decently and very quickly. I mean, the other thing
also started off decently, and then Saber also started.
Well, that's
off
what I said.
decently.
To say, like Ghost, it started off.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing was actually like a very early pitch for Saber, like for the actual plot side. It was meant to be doing like telling the stories of the stories they were using, which they started off doing, but they very quickly abandoned that.
Yeah.
Now that one was because pandemic. Kind of pulled them out of doing that a bit, because note how quickly they started to cut how many people were around very often.
Well, the pandemic started near the end of 01.
Yeah, but bear in mind it started about the halfway point. But with Saber, because remember, Japan started off coping really well with the pandemic. It was just, yeah, when they were getting into the actual production on Saber, it had kind of taken a turn for the worst in Japan at that time.
Reporting a pair of snipers firing from inside. Take out the snipers. But be careful.
This challenge, this mission is taking us all over the place. Now we gotta take out snipers.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
In a bit we haven't been to yet. There is a thing over here.
Yeah, we're probably gonna be close to them. Yeah. Revice is definitely more memorable. But the one thing that kind of bothers me is when they try writing in a reason for why they have to stop being a writer.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, this series, they actually have one built in already.
I know, but it's like...
Because, I say, they've got it built in, because what's going to happen when they kill Gif?
I don't know.
Because they've explicitly said all demons are connected to Gif. So... Wait, what? Return...
Here we go again.
Oh, did it not count for you?
No. It did not. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, like if I guess if you're like already setting up so like when GIF is defeated, the demons are gone.
Which is going to make it awkward when we get the crossover film with the next one.
Unless it's a thing that someone else becomes like the progenitor demon or something, and basically then is able to keep the demons.
Of course, the fact that the kids are all basically demon-human hybrids could get around it. It may cease like Vice Love Cove from functioning, but it could still, like, with a bit of tinkering, allow, you know, a bit of tinkering on the drivers, allow them to still have it.
Maybe Iki will just become a demon.
Yeah, well, that's the other.
They go Gaim on us.
But instead of God, he becomes the devil.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm God. Hi, I'm the devil.
It'd be an interesting sort of counter to sort of his character. 'Cause, you know, he's very selfless. So the selfless demon. That actually has a nice ring to it. The selfless demon.
But yeah, I mean, they have to do like a special with that.
Yeah. I think that is because obviously they've got this thing where Iki is losing his memories.
They have explained what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Because it's to do with the deal he made with Vice when he was a kid.
Maybe the only way to be able to be able to stop him from losing his memories is to actually just become a demon himself. Maybe that's how they explain that.
Alright, we need to return
my
back up.
food's ready, so I'm just gonna follow you.
Right, I'm gonna take us back up to the safe house bit.
You're too far away. There we go. I'll be right back.
Come on.
I'm here.
Yeah, your character decided to go and fly into some sandbags and wouldn't keep following me.
He probably went, odd angle.
Yeah, but you thought by me looping back around and whatnot would have made it go back to following.
Depends on how far away you got.
Not very. I saw it didn't follow and it's just like, oh, come round. Yeah, it's weird. Right, okay.
Yep.
Oh, jeez, that was some turning.
Yep. All worked.
You just rubber banded.
There we go.
Well, there's a doorway there we should have gone to while we were down there. Whoops. Oh, your mission was there. Oh.
Well.
Oh, well, not that much of it. It gives you a second to continue eating then. Yeah, but... Yeah, so yeah, we've got interesting stuff going on on Ryder. We've got interesting stuff going on in Sentai. Because, yeah, the three that have been kind of set up as the villains, turns out there's something more dangerous than them that exists. And they're actually afraid of it. We don't see it because it was kind of the stinger at the end of the episode. Because one of them has been, like, peering into some vision thing during this episode. And when they come out the vision, they're in a panic.
This is, which one is this again?
For Sentai.
Alright.
So you have you have got those three, like, warrior type villains.
The three Dark Sentai team, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so the blue one of them's been saying a vision for the episode, and he was, like, seeing some monster in the shadows. And, yeah, the episode ends with this bus going into a tunnel, and then when it comes out the other side, no one's on board, and it crashes. and there's just slime all over the inside of the bus. Which, yeah, fun. As for the monster this week, it was based off of Go Busters. And it was a giant game of red light, green light for its gimmick.
Of course.
And if it sees you move, you get dimensionally displaced to some unknown location, because we never see where you get sent. So...
Better or worse than the one from Squid Game? Squid Game, you just get shot.
Well, I mean, it shot you to send you into... teleport you to wherever. Because like I said, we never see it, and 3 of our 4 rangers get hit by this as well. Because it was just left with yellow and red, and red was not in the best state because he had no energy. I mean, you know how he has this big procession for coming into battle?
I think so.
Well, instead of them carrying him in on his motorbike, he was lying on like an ancient Japanese traditional like funeral bed.
Jesus.
And they were coming in, yeah, they were all dressed as mourners as well. And yeah, so it wasn't really the upbeat music and whatnot as they brought him in. It was sort of very sort of, you know, low-key mourning music. Yeah. And yeah, oh yeah, because I've seen people making the Squid Game comparison with the episode. The monster, while they appeared in their human form as a little kid, turns out that was just a projection of an old man dying in a hospital who basically, as a kid, was always rejected from by other kids to play with. So an old man just wanted people to play red light, green light with him. And if you lose, you get yeeted. Yeah, totally not Squid Game there. Even though I've never watched the show, just the fact that people are saying that comparison is just like, wow. The writer on this year's Sentai really... I mean, he is known for doing some darker stuff. Just yeah. Really not hiding your influence on that episode.
Nope.
But the cool bit was we got to see Zenkaija Black in action. Well, actually morph and fight.
Had Black not been around?
He's been lurking around, but never involved in the fights. He would sort of show up and collect the gimmick at the end of the fights.
Oh.
You need to interact.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, we actually get him in the fight for the first time. Even though, unfortunately, he couldn't hurt the monster for some reason. I don't know why, because the subs haven't come yet. So... there's obviously something potentially with the Don Brothers' powers that allows them to hurt these things where the Zenkaija powers don't work. So, yeah. Although we do now have Red with his Zord form. Cool bit is, he can use it without growing big. So it basically can function as a battleizer.
Look forward to seeing you,
Alright.
And next week, Yellow's going to get to use her one. So I say battleizer, it's basically like just the, you know, a general power-up if all of them can do it. But, yeah, it's kind of different, like really different take with the Zords.
Yeah.
Yeah, turning into the Zord, but it doesn't mean you're automatically turning giant.
Because obviously they have done the turning into the Zord thing before, because that's what Mystic Force did.
Yeah. Do you want to
Yeah, they didn't do the other one before.
Because normally Zords are, you know, you just get into them with, like I said, Mystic Force kind of being the exception. Though Jungle Fury had the thing of forming them out of spirit energy, but it still was... but then they still were actually piloting them, so... Whereas here, yeah, we're going with the... they are the Zord thing. But yeah, using them as an on-the-ground power-up is a very different take for them, so...
Yeah.
But the toy, it just looks so good. After several years of Bandai just kind of cheaping out a little bit, because they really sort of... The quality on them in recent years had been dropping. It's really... It just looks like they have put so much effort into this one. And then the full articulation.
Yeah.
So... Well, yeah, that one... Wait, what are we doing here? Old blood, so this... Wait, what? This is your mission here.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, I've just about finished my food.
That's the snipers, yeah. So this is... Yeah, so what do we need to do for your mission exactly here?
Disable the sensors. What they look like, I have no idea.
Is this thing here?
Nope.
Okay. Let's just... hello, hello. I think I've seen it. Damn it, I just got spotted.
Alright. Gotta find 4 more of those, like the
Nope.
one over here.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's one right here.
Lightsaber jerk.
But yeah, because as a head writer for, I see one down. I see one down below. I'm just trying to see any more before we commit to jumping down there. Maybe we should sweep. Yeah, sweep along the top. Up. Where's that? That? No, no, that's not.
Oh, there's one over here.
But yeah, I mean, given the stuff that the... Oh, this one just respawned.
Okay.
But yeah, given the stuff... Well, the stuff that the writer's done before, yeah. I mean, geez, he had the guts to kill off a ranger in the finale of their series. And not even in battle. Yeah, that other one's respawned. So...
Yeah, just getting stabbed by a mugger.
Yeah. I still love that Zenkaija actually recreated that scene.
Why?
Because they were dealing with the love-themed, you know, yearly needed monster.
Oh, right.
And so, yeah, Varun used the Jetman gear and they just suddenly reenacted that entire scene.
Jesus.
Because, yep, that was the tribute to Jetman. The darkest moment in Sentai, in the Sentai history, pretty much. Even though other characters have been killed, like that one is just considered the most dark one. Because the others all at least fell in battle in some form. So... But yeah, the guy also did Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, as everyone refers to it as.
Bloody hell.
So you know which one that one is.
Yeah. The one where Yugi basically mind melts Kaiba.
The one that actually is the manga.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Where,
Now, obviously, that was a straight-up manga adaptation, but he was the guy converting it into the scripts and whatnot, so...
Good thing they didn't fully adapt that, otherwise they'd have had to have dealt with the episode where Taya almost gets, you know, that.
And then he's done a load of other non-tokusatsu things for years, like, you know, sort of, you know, dark dramas. He has done one major tokusatsu thing since Jetman, which was the second half of Hibiki. Which, well, that's its own story. Because the second half is a bit, from what I understand from people, it's just like... The big tonal has a fairly heavy tonal shift.
I mean, it was probably quite evident. I mean, I've not seen Hibiki, so I can't tell, but I know that Hibiki has 2 openings.
Yeah, Blade has it as well.
Yeah, but I imagine it was probably around when the new opening came out.
Well, yeah, because that's why they shifted to fit the newer part. So what are we looking for in here?
We just gotta kill Imperial forces.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find, like, you know, ones that aren't, like, really tough.
Well, there's just a couple of them. There's a normal guy and a...
We didn't need to do any more.
Oh, sorry.
That was the last one we needed to do.
Well, it was... wait, you come back here. Yeah. Because obviously Go Busters is the only Sentai to have switched opening. Because, well, the first half of the series was a much more darker series. Apparently people didn't like that.
Buster, ready,
So
go.
the second half was a much more light-hearted one.
Whoever you're supposed to be,
So-
you're in my way.
Which is pity.
The Emperor's chosen. We live and die as he commands. And his first son will secure our victory. I see your weaknesses, Jedi, and how to shatter you.
Your overconfidence will be your undoing.
You will never reach the honored daughter. One by one, your Republic fellows will turn. All is lost, Jedi.
Call yourself Imperial Guard, not the Imperial Guard I acknowledge. You should be dying by the bucket loads in a galaxy full of horrors of giant bugs, enriched abominations that the mind cannot comprehend.
I mean, Imperial Guards are fairly...
I know, I'm just making a freaking sci-fi Imperial Guard joke right now.
I mean, I'm thinking of a different one, I think.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the you know, red shirts. You know, the Star Trek meme.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is basically what the Imperial Guard in Warhammer are. They are just red... Yeah, I mean, that is how they're even used. So, like, the Imperium doctrine of war with the Imperial Guard is throw more bodies at them. Everything dies eventually if you throw enough bodies at it.
You know probably why it was always the red shirts that kept getting killed?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so you don't have to wash out the blood.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know what I mean, but like, as in, like, in terms of filmmaking. It meant that they didn't really have to use fake blood
Yeah.
on the uniform. Because you know, it was just going to be the color of, you know, the suit that they were wearing anyway. So it probably allowed them to you know, save them some special effects.
Especially back in
practical
those
effects.
days where you didn't have the supreme amounts of money you have nowadays to make these things for the most part.
Yeah.
And props had to be reused as much as possible.
Yeah. So that's probably why it was always the red shirts that kept dying.
My brother said you'd be persistent, but I was almost hoping we'd meet.
Pardon my forwardness to a daughter of the Emperor, but you should not risk yourself.
But General, a chance to speak with the Barson Thor herself. You were actually mentored by the first son.
My mentor was Master Seo Bakarn, a Jedi Master and a force for good.
You have to accept new loyalties as they come. Look at me. I was some nobody Republic corporal until the Emperor's voice called me. I was reborn. Guardian Hold 4 seemed like such a paltry gift in return.
Even if it means your death, Guardian Hold 4 must return to Republic hands.
No, it belongs to us. If you try anything, I know what would please my brother.
Well, that was a sudden shift in.
There's so much
Yeah.
I could still learn from you. Especially if I leave you alive.
Okay, like
Ah, you missed.
you nearly hit your
Once a
own.
trooper, once a trooper, always a trooper.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're not actually the main character type trooper, that's why you're not allowed to hit things.
Yep. Well, she's dead. No opportunity to try and save her. Oh well.
Let's discuss terms, gentlemen.
It's discussion, or we leave you alone with a droid that likes to, you know, nothing more than eliminating some meat bags.
It's negotiations, or you're locked in a room with a Wookiee.
Well, locked in a room with an HK droid
You're now
that has some
present
attitude
Republic.
problems.
Ask yourselves, will the first son risk leaving you alive?
We're prepared to be reasonable, Jedi.
The other guy's like, eh?
Merian, she just defeated Imperial Guardsmen and a child of the Emperor. Think. We don't know where the first son is, but there's a government bunker below Capitol Square that's been transmitting our orders. The Republic calls it Guardian Hold 1.
Very original naming.
Crush you for this, Gran.
After the Corellian government betrayed their people, the consequences of a Republic victory will be preying on their minds.
Your face has been used for a lot of Republic
Corellian
military
troops
leaders.
will be hiding in Guardian Hold 1. The first son has likely joined them.
Your assistance will not go unrewarded, General.
We must be sure. A commando will see.
Another of us dead because of you. It's tragic. Both Daresh's loss and your failure. A true Jedi Master could have guided her back to the light.
By the same logic, you too could turn from this darkness.
I think you overestimate your powers.
That's not what you were going on about, though.
Thousands of my brothers and sisters still lie in wait. Even the best hunter's arrow only strikes once. You are going to your death.
Leave these generals for the Republic. Got Guardian Hold 1 to handle.
Yeah. Yep.
Nope. Get back here.
Capitol Square has
I didn't
Republic and Imperial soldiers, all fighting. No Guardian Hold 1. A Republic checkpoint is close. They may help. I send the position to everyone.
Right, now you can leave. Speak to Sergeant Rossica. Bob.
The other bit, though, I did see just before stream, following on from the announcement of Batwoman's cancellation, Legends is not renewed.
Oh.
Yep. Which is really irritating, given they had ended that on a big cliffhanger. So
maybe they'll have to resolve it in a crossover with the Flash.
that, or it's just all resolved off screen. But yeah, that's
Legends did seem like one of the ones that would actually keep going.
I mean, you thought they'd have at least let them have, let them go, right, you're going into what will be your final season, not oh, you're just not renewed.
Jumping is slowing you down, by the way.
I was letting you catch up.
Okay, alright. Sure. This way. Is it this way? I think it's down. Yeah, like, Legends seemed like the one that would continue. Because you could just keep bringing in actors from shows that aren't renewed. Who still want to keep doing the shows.
Or they just feel like there's more stories to tell with that character.
Yeah. So, it's weird that they would cancel such a show.
And as I say, especially given where they were at the end of last series.
I mean, what does that leave now? I mean...
Just Flash and Superman.
Yeah.
Stargirl, we don't know what's going on at the minute. We know there is a season 3. But obviously that one airs as that show's airing as a summer thing, so...
And generally isn't even linked to the other Arrowverse shows.
It has now been in a canonical comic. So they're doing a, I think it's 6-part comic, which is canon to the Arrowverse.
Right.
Which, most of the bits are one... I don't know why you're heading back up that way.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Most of it is one-off... Well, they're not even one-off stories. Most of it... Like, the first lot of issues are centered around one of the shows. And then it's all... And then the final issue is a crossover, which all the other issues have been setting up. So... Yeah.
Where the hell are we going?
I just went for the top one on the list. So, but yeah, they have. We haven't got. I think the Stargirl issue is the 4th issue, and we've only had the first 3, I think, at this point.
I mean, Flash basically is the only one really that's basically promising.
There is hint that season 9 might be its last.
So are they just planning on ending the entire Arrowverse shows?
I don't know. Don't forget there's a lot of weirdness going on at the minute when it comes to CW and whatnot. Because obviously there's the whole thing of them wanting everything to be on HBO Max, or Warner Brothers wanting everything on HBO Max. There's the potential sale of the CW, because that channel is co-owned between Warner Brothers and CBS. So the shows on there will end up on whichever streaming service based on whichever studio is behind it. And yeah, the pair of them have sort of been looking at selling it off. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, for that element of it all if they're looking at getting rid of it all.
I think. Yeah, that's very hard to say. At least we know that cancellations does not not renewing them doesn't mean they won't ever come back in some form. Because I mean, that's basically what happened to Clone Wars, but we still got another season of that.
Well,
eventually.
Clone Wars, I think, is a little bit more different because they were in production of the seasons, and Disney just basically pulled the plug, you know, because it had been renewed and Disney then cancelled the renewals.
Okay, then Heroes.
I wouldn't. I mean, I guess Young Justice is a better one.
Well, yeah.
Because that thing was just not renewed.
Because Heroes ended on season 4, and then many years later they did a season called. They did a one season show called Heroes Reborn, which was basically like new characters in a in the present day. Based off of,
I mean, even
relating to some characters from.
I mean, they even used like the Armageddon event to wrap up a storyline which never even got to be done, which is the Mia Queen stuff. So, yeah, as I say, even if they don't get new, like their shows brought back, like I said, their stuff can always be resolved within one of the other shows. And we do know there is a new show in the works, which is the one that Diggle will be leading, with him mentoring a new generation of heroes. So there's nothing. Obviously, that one hasn't been confirmed if it is going to happen, because obviously they've got it is commissioned for a pilot episode.
There is one thing that maybe they are thinking of. Maybe they are just planning on resetting everything. Resetting all the TV shows, resetting all the films, just starting from scratch. And just, having, a proper go at trying to do what Marvel did.
Yeah.
Because they have obviously said that they are, there are rumors, saying that they're going to just do a, full-on reboot of the DCEU.
Yeah. Which, the means of how they were going to do it has kind of been pulled the plug on, it seems.
What was that?
Well,
Flashpoint.
Yeah. Because the film was basically the grounds for them to be able to do the reset. And, yeah, the film's now pulled indefinitely, so...
Because of Ezra Miller.
Yeah. I mean, some people are saying they should just transfer Grant over to the films.
Yeah. At this point, it's possible.
That's the thing, though. That's if he wants to, because he might want, after, effectively 10 years when you think about it. Because when you consider...
This could be one final hurrah, but on the big screen.
I mean, there was always been rumours that following the Crisis incident where we had Ezra make a cameo... Well, it's not really even a cameo, just an actual appearance, that Grant was going to be making an appearance in Flashpoint. But obviously that one's never been confirmed.
Yeah.
So... But yeah, it's...
I mean, I think Warner Brothers had it quite rough. Like, well, part of it was their own fault though as well. Like,
they decided to rush.
They started to rush out. They wanted to rush out Justice League.
Well, they wanted to rush out Batman v Superman so they can get to Justice League, and yeah, and then do all the back building on the characters.
Yeah.
Which is not how Avengers work. What made the Avengers work?
The Avengers worked because everyone was already
with the except
in these characters that built
Hawkeye
up.
was kind of the odd one out, but
yeah. But everyone wanted to. The point of
but we'd had 2 Iron Man
see,
films,
yeah,
which had allowed us to build up Tony and a little bit on Black Widow. We then obviously had a Captain America, and then we'd had Thor. So
yeah, and the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, yeah. Well, bear in mind that one was a weird one because that was kind of more retconning into the MCU, even though it was kind of tied in anyway. But it was like that was a thing that wasn't part of the plan when they made the film, and they recorded the cameo very close to the film's actual launch. The time where they do reshoots and whatnot.
Yeah. But
so
it's like.
And then obviously with Hulk we'd recast anyway, so
yeah.
We were sort of even though they kind of acknowledged the events of the film, we were basically on a fresh Hulk.
But yeah, the point of the Avengers was we wanted to see how these characters would interact. These big personalities would interact with each other. That's why the Avengers was so great. So we got to see all these characters that have had their own films interact in ways that we'd never seen in cinema before. And yeah, that's what DC need to do. And yeah, I mean, so DC kind of screwed themselves over with the fact that they rushed it.
And the problem was they didn't even make a likable Batman.
Yeah, they didn't make a likable Batman.
Superman, the actor for Superman, Henry Cavill, I think he himself was good. I don't think the film was that good.
Yeah. The film was...
Though bear in mind that was made before the decisions and whatnot, so...
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, Man of Steel, not the best thing, but...
Yeah. Batman vs. Superman was...
hot mess.
Martha!
that film is the meme.
Yeah. Justice League was an odd one. They just had to...
There are some elements, even in Snyder's original vision, which are just like, no. It's having watched both versions, that it's just like, neither of them are what you needed.
This is your mission, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. It's just weird, because it's like, they're giving me objective points. Oh, no, it says... You've got another thing in the first one.
Yeah, it's the bonus for that one.
Oh, right.
Which I wasn't too worried about.
Where are you?
Downstairs.
Oh. So, I mean, yeah. Then you have Aquaman. Aquaman, probably the first really good solo film. So, solo outing.
Wonder Woman was fine, apart from
Wonder
end.
Woman. Yeah, Wonder Woman.
The end kind of is where it fell apart.
Yeah, but Wonder Woman was the first good standalone film, and then they followed up with good film after good film with Aquaman being really fun. Shazam.
Shazam is
really
meant
fun.
to be, from what I know, I haven't seen all of them. Shazam is meant to be the best of them. At least, from what I hear about. So
you cut off.
Yeah, so I was saying, from what I hear, Shazam is meant to be in the best of them.
Oh yeah, I mean Shazam is definitely up there. And then after Shazam, things started to go downhill. You got, what was it?
Wonder Woman
Wonder
2.
Woman 20...
Yeah, I'd say, no, 19...
Wonder Woman 1984, wasn't it?
Oh, well, it's Wonder Woman 2 anyway.
Wonder Woman 2, yeah.
Then we've had
Which was-
development hell for some of the other projects.
Then we've had
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, which underperformed.
Well, I
And
mean,
was
Suicide Squad
technically-
kind of had the. I'm referring to the new Suicide Squad.
I'm referring to the old one.
Yeah.
That one was bad.
Yeah.
But they liked Margot Robbie.
I think her Harley was fine.
Yeah, she keeps being cast in these bad films. Like, she's cast correctly, but like the films that she's in are bad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess the recent Suicide Squad, was she in that?
Yeah, because she was reprising it. Because the original film is canon still.
Yeah, so the new one, from what I've heard, is really good, and it's probably
Well, it probably helps. James Gunn knows how to do a sort of an ensemble cast type thing.
yeah.
Because, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, he showed he could do that sort of, very different characters together type thing, and make it fun.
So yeah, that was probably Margot's best sort of thing, but after several attempts at trying to...
And then, because also you
trying to
had
get there.
Birds of Prey, which they had to rename to try and market it better. Because no one was going to see it, so hey, let's just make it clear the main thing is about Harley Quinn. The one character people like.
The film was so bad, unless you were asking a person just was an extreme on one side politically, then you're basically a misogynist for thinking it was bad. But no, the film is just bad. So yeah, I mean, Margot Robbie's had it rough.
But then obviously we had, the Batman was in development hell because that was meant to be the Ben Affleck Batman film.
But then he
quit.
He quit.
And
he still directed the Batman. He just didn't want to direct and star.
And then
That's one of the millions of people I just saved.
yeah.
And then to top it all off, you've got.
Then obviously we've had just Flash. Well, let's just say Flash had been in development hell for quite a while until they finally got to get it going. And now it's.
And now Ezra Miller
has basically almost made it so it may not come out for a long time, if it ever does.
And Aquaman, one of the only sort of standalone ones which isn't currently tainted, has now been tainted because of Amber Heard.
Though we don't know how much of a role she's taking in the second, let's bear that in mind.
And now that I've said that name, this video is going to get demonetized on YouTube.
I don't have it monetized anyway.
Well, good.
It's now just going to be copyright claimed.
Yeah. Because that's the weird thing with YouTube. Like, apparently, if you even mention her name on YouTube, the video will be demonetized.
But as I said, we don't know how much of a role she's going to be in the sequel.
Well,
because with everything that was going on, they may have just scaled it back.
Well, we have heard confirmation that she's basically got under 10 minutes at least now. But interesting that for her, the only punishment she's getting is that her role is being reduced to 10 minutes in the film.
Well, bear in mind,
whilst for Johnny, his screen time goes to 0 in everything.
Not quite. The fragrance ad he
apart
stars
from the
in has been
fragrance ad.
back on TV because no one's recorded new adverts during the pandemic, so it's recycle old ads.
Yeah, apart from the fragrance ad. Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess there's also... I mean, until the... Oh, good, someone just attacked them.
I don't think anyone at this point's denying the fact that Johnny was... did nothing wrong. Like,
I mean, he's
clearly,
even
like,
admitted he's made mistakes.
Yeah, he's made mistakes, but only one of them was only one of them got punished, basically.
Well, hopefully, we'll see what happens when the whole court stuff is over, because active legal proceedings can make things a lot harder to... Because who knows what's still gonna show up, because obviously, through appeals, more things can come to light and whatnot, so...
Yeah.
So only once the dust is settled are we really gonna have a proper thing.
In the recent court witness testimony, they had a guy driving his car during the witness testimony.
Wait, what?
Because they were doing a record, they were doing it streamed on the TV. This witness, and he started driving his car mid interrogation, basically.
Oh. Well, it's not. It's called cross-examination.
Cross-examination, sorry. Yes.
Interrogation. Geez, like no, they're not. They'd have dragged him into a freaking.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the right word in that moment, but yeah, cross-examination. It just in that moment, he started driving, and like after he, they hung up the call on him. They was like, okay, let's have a break, everyone. Don't do any,
You know what?
Research, yada yada yada. And then after that, she was like, well, that's a first.
Yeah, I mean that is. You know what it makes me think of?
What?
That video of, "I'm not a cat, Your Honor."
Yeah. Don't bother with those. Oh, I know, right. No, we could have... Yeah, there was a group of 3. And we only needed 3 more. Oh, well. Oh, bloody hell. This way, I guess. There's one sniper over here. But, yeah. But yeah, like, so yeah, you've got an actress who's in hot water.
An actor who's in hot water.
Yeah. And so...
Oh, come on! It's now telling us to go all the way back there.
And you're basically now looking at the Flash being, affected. Aquaman 2 being affected.
Hang on. So I'm just working. No, it'd be easy to go up and then down again.
Yeah. So it's like, what can you do at that point?
Yeah, because I mean, it's even though Wonder Woman 3 is on the cards. I mean, that they haven't even begun any pre-works and whatnot. So that's still several years before anything.
You need to make sure that the woman who is basically in charge of like directing and the script for the second Wonder Woman film just needs to do the role that she was given in the first Wonder Woman film, because she doesn't seem to be capable of doing all of the bits, but she was really good at doing the one bit in the first one.
Well, until, like I said, the final act.
Until the final act. Well, because I think she was the director.
Yeah, but I'll say, yeah, that first film, as I say, was
So
fine until the final act, because
Yeah.
it kind of just devolved in the final act. So...
Yeah. So... Right, obtain heavy ordnance.
Yeah, it's back in this park.
Alright.
They make
So,
you go all the way around the area just to send you back a bit, and
So I wonder. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame Warner Brothers for wanting to just hard reboot everything, including like the TV shows, because then you can then take the advantage of doing that and just be like, okay, now we can actually just consolidate everything into one universe and not have it being.
Well, they rebranded everything following Crisis to the DC expanded multiverse. So, you know, it's all the projects are within. At least all the live action.
Now we've got a stage bonus here. Are you kidding? Why?
Imperial Walkers are there's one in front of us. Just gonna have to. Hey, Susie. Sorry, I didn't quite see realize you were there as well.
We got a stage bonus after already being here.
Yeah, you'd thought during that first part where it was take out the snipers, it would have. This one's just. But yeah, how are you, Susie? Yeah, Warner Brothers are really not in the best. Where's the interact on this thing?
Oh, it's up.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I can't really blame them for wanting to do a hard reset. Just sort of, I think what they're gonna need to do is just sort of get all the actors together who people
They want to
like,
keep.
that they want to keep.
Which what? So Jason
From
Momoa,
everything.
Gal Gadot,
Henry
Zachary
Cavill,
Levi, and the kid
Zachary
that
Levi,
plays.
and maybe even Grant Gustin. Who knows?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, he's probably the one that's, you know, going to be the harder one. Because, like, as I said, after effectively doing the role for 10 years, he might want to move on. Because 10 years is it's still a long time.
True, but it depends on how much he loves it.
I know.
Some actors may want to just keep returning to their role no matter
But
how
obviously,
many years.
but obviously, film,
Yeah.
TV is fairly different, though. Because he may not want to take it up as a full film thing.
What was that series that was like that went on for like 14 seasons or something? Unlike the CW that everyone loved.
I don't know.
I can't remember what it was called.
But yeah, how much of the original cast was still there at the end?
I don't know. I don't know what the show's called. But like I could. But it's like really popular.
Do you know what sort of show it was?
It was like magic based, and there was, you know, the
Supernatural?
two brothers, I guess.
Yeah, Supernatural.
Supernatural, that's the one. Supernatural.
But then I know with the later series, it was running shorter series.
Because how many seasons did they do of this?
I know that I've
They went
always,
on for 15 years.
though bear in mind, part of that extension was COVID because they kind of, you know, had a major delay in that final season.
Yeah, so I mean,
So it's really only 14, but the 15 that just took forever because of COVID.
yeah, so like those actors were probably there.
Oh yeah, the main two would
Like,
have been then. Yeah.
Yeah, the main two would probably have been there. Yeah,
But then
they
that would
still
have been. But
continuing
you
to
know,
do
if
it.
they wanted to stop, that was a show built around their characters. So if they didn't want to do it anymore, that would have ended the show.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, come on! Oh, phew, it's just over here.
Yeah. We've got one more zone after this as well.
I know.
I've reached the rendezvous point, General Apes.
Good work.
Yeah, it's
Public's taking care of what's left.
we
of
got-
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't blame DC, Warner Brothers for wanting just to reset the whole thing.
In the galaxy.
Well, let's not reset everything, because there's a couple of, say, good bits that they can play with for a little longer.
Got to get past them first.
If more
But,
come,
like, yeah,
we'll
take a
get the others
really
out.
good take at what is and isn't working.
Imagine what an army of them could do.
Because let's not nuke their animation side at the minute, because it
Oh,
took...
you know what I mean.
I know.
I'm saying the live action
Command
stuff.
center's not far from here. Use the spike to take control. Our techs will scan for any orders related to the Imperial Guard.
I understand completely.
I was not listening to you, so I didn't even realise what I was selecting.
Use their comms to contact me once you spike their systems. The command center is the
Saucy.
Empire's last holdout in Axial Park. Get inside and find out what they're planning.
Right, down
Oh, great.
there.
We got more. I think my pudding's ready, so I want to go grab that real quick.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Follow. So I'll be right back.
Saucy. Saucy being very rude. Playing Sims. How saucy.
What's going on here?
We have to fight them to get inside.
Oh, right.
Lower tier enemies this way.
Oh, this is a different bonus.
Where are we going up? We just want to get upstairs. I'm just exhausted. What have the kiddies been doing today? That's what I want.
Oh.
The spike's in, General. You should have access to the Empire's systems.
Our techs are hacked in and ready. Now let's see where the Imperial Guard's been hiding. Imperial Guard orders are being transmitted from the Museum Republica. Looks like they want to hit us where it hurts. That rules out aerial bombardment or a major assault. One stray grenade could destroy centuries of history.
Is there any way to get the Imperial Guard into the open?
No chance. They've got a good position, and they know it. These dispatch orders come from Commander Tainer, head of the Imperial Guard. Commander's the one with the battle plan. If something happened to him, It would take time for the Imperial Guard to adjust.
Have you faced Commander Tainer before?
He's ruthless. Officers have surrendered rather than face him. If the commander's smart, he'll post a few men at the door and hide the rest in a museum. Move fast and stay sharp. The Museum Republica's collection dates back to the
Sounds like we might
Spare anything you can
not
from
be
the
getting
crossfire.
Moon Knight added into the MCU.
It's... I don't know, it's really difficult what way they're going to go, because that...
Those trinkets
The episode we just had really didn't
you might not value them.
lean things a particular way.
Get inside the museum and find the commander. I'll
'Cause,
send reinforcements as soon as I can.
Supposedly, Oscar didn't want to be in sort of like a golden handcuff sort of situation.
I mean, that's fair in a way. I mean, the golden handcuff deals are pretty rough. Although, bear in mind, look at a lot of the other big stars, though. They've done other projects while. It's just their contracts are, look, you're going to be used this many times, guaranteed.
Yeah, I just think he had a bad time with Star Wars.
I mean, especially...
My God, the planning of the Star Wars sequel trilogy was just terrible.
What did they do today, Susie?
I think you could probably argue that 7 was alright.
Yeah, as I said, 7 was alright. Yeah.
8 and
8
9.
had so much promise.
Let's not get into the argument of which one's better between 8 or 9, because...
Like I say, for me,
we'll
8
agree
had
to
a lot
disagree.
more promise. That's all I say. Look, I still, like, I agree that the Canto Blight stuff was a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
But
But also the whole thing of not telling anyone on board what their plan was.
there's arguments that can be made both ways about that, because you've got to remember, they did not know how they were being tracked, so the potential of a spy was very high.
And yeah, it led to a mutiny.
Yeah, now what I think that there is a way that it could have been handled in a much more interesting way. The false information element. Where different groups are told different details. And as people have pointed out, Poe had no right to be told, given he just lost most of their fighting force and he was not to be trusted. So, but what is I've also seen agreed on is a little something just to show some reassurance wouldn't have hurt. But to a degree, it was Poe's fault they were kind of in that position in the first place.
Another thing was the whole "your parents were nobodies" thing.
I liked that because because obviously the one thing that people were a bit fed up, had been getting a bit fed up of, was the sort of chosen one trope.
Yeah, but
and it made it because the idea that George had really been trying to go with the whole Force thing throughout the for a bit in the particularly on expanded stuff was that because the one line he regretted in the prequel trilogy was about Anakin's father. That no, it should be anyone has the anyone could have the potential to be a Jedi. It's not an inherited thing. Well, Jedi, Sith, but you get what I mean on that.
Yeah. But like, the problem was they had been building up that she was looking for, They were building up that, you know, her parents actually were people.
Yeah, but they could still have established they were at least maybe, you know, important in the had important roles in the galaxy, but were not force, you know, or at least, you know, trained force sensitives.
Oh, the way they just killed Snoke.
That, but combined obviously with Ben killing Han, set, you know, like he'd had his redemption chance. Like him being the final villain would have been really good.
But like, was there a reason to kill? Like, the way Snoke, because they built up Snoke to be such a menacing figurehead, and then he's just in Episode 8, he's just sitting on his throne in freaking bathrobes, and then gets sliced in half. I mean, like what? It's like everything that they were kind of building up with 7, they kind of just ended in a kind of unsatisfying way in 8.
Well, I think though, as I say, Ben being like actually in charge made a much different thing because it really sort of got rid of his Darth Vader clone style.
I mean, I don't disagree. Like having, you know, Kylo Ren being the final boss would have been perhaps a good idea.
And as I said, they gave him his redemption moment, and he rejected it.
You must be Commander Taynor.
But the problem is like,
I've been waiting a long time.
Too much of the final film just felt like pulling BS out of a hat.
Because there was nothing else. That was the problem, because 8 just wrapped up everything and gave nothing.
Well, like I said, there was the whole, they were on the verge of, well, there wasn't quite nothing.
I mean, there was Kylo.
You had the Kylo and the Resistance in tatters.
Yeah,
like
that was really all that they had going in. Whilst 7 into 8, they had a lot of things. They had, you know, Rey's parents. They had Luke. They had, oh yeah, and the way Luke was treated in that film, my God. The way Luke was treated in Episode 8 was just bad.
Did they even explain how he got to that state? So I can't remember. No, in that film though, because I know they kind of said stuff in 9, which was just like,
And they explained it in 8 why he was there. And what happened. You know, he was building up a new Jedi Order.
Yeah, but then they said stuff in 9 of him having gone in search for stuff, and it took him there and he stopped.
My mistakes cannot go unpunished.
So they basically tried retconning that whole element.
Forget the Emperor.
Because yeah, I remember obviously the whole academy had failed and he'd gone off, and but then like I say in 9 they said he'd gone off because he knew that Palpatine was back and was trying to find him, and sort of just stopped on that planet in the end.
Commander Taynor survived the battle.
Which, as I say, kind of that really is just some BS retconning.
Looks like we weren't needed.
Yeah, well, I mean,
General requests that you meet him back at the command bunker.
After the way that Luke was treated.
Not that retconning was much better either.
No, but it was, at least it was like trying to patchwork some pretty big mistakes.
Though the key theme, though, was that they did sort of at least acknowledge is that, yeah, Jedi Order is just doesn't work. You see it in the prequel trilogy, it doesn't work. I mean, even, geez, look back here, even though Old Republic stuff isn't, well, its position with canon is very weird. But you even see through Knights of the, the KOTOR game, well, basically, the KOTOR trilogy, that, yeah, the Jedi Order itself doesn't work even here. High Republic, even though that's the whole Jedi at their peak, the Order just doesn't work. Alright, let's quick travel.
the only quick travel point here.
Oh, well, that one, yeah. I was looking at the wrong spot.
But but I mean, like, with 9, there's a lot of things. Because, like, when I walked out of the cinema of 8, I liked it, but it's like, it didn't quite feel Star Warsy. There's a lot of things that were missing, you know. 'Cause, like, every Star Wars film had a lightsaber fight, right? Well, from 1 to
Well, all the
7.
core films, because...
All the core films, yeah. All the core films always
Because Rogue One wasn't really a fight, it was a curb stomp. And then, obviously, Solo didn't at all.
Yeah, every core film had a proper lightsaber on lightsaber fight. That wasn't in 8. We didn't get one in 8. We had lightsabers against vibro blades or vibro weapons.
Yeah.
With the Imperial Guard, and we had a lightsaber against a spirit. But that was it. You didn't have that proper lightsaber fight.
Although the Saber versus Vibro sequence was good.
Yeah, it was. Though, yeah, like I said, having a lightsaber on lightsaber fight would have made it like have Snoke have done something with a lightsaber. Jeez, they have him at least have fought before being cut in half.
Yeah, but then, like, I guess that's probably the only thing that can actually really link through to Palpatine. The arrogance. Because look at if you look through Palpatine, how he was sort of written, you know, even before, you know, even just ignoring 9, just look especially through how they portray him through Clone Wars Rebels. Like, so confident in his plans and just so arrogant in the way that he has foreseen the outcome and that there can be that nothing can go wrong. Like, that element there is the only sort of bit that makes him believable as an extension of Palpatine. That you can almost sort of view it that he was so arrogant in that vision he was having was, you know, that it was someone else being cut down, that it blinded him.
Yeah, I think if we had had him actually do something, like we saw he could use the Force because he used it on General Huck in Episode 7. So we know that he can use the Force. So clearly he could use a lightsaber.
I mean, even if they didn't give him a lightsaber, if he just force pulled up one of the vibro weapons.
Yeah, like it would have at least have made Snoke a more interesting villain.
Yeah.
Because all of that build-up in 7 kind of just amounted to just 2 halves.
Because
on the floor.
7. Oh, 7. Sorry, 8 isn't. 8's the easier one to fix out of 8 and 9 for me. So it's like the Canto Blight stuff gets removed, and then you just tweak a few bits here and there, and you're basically done.
Oh, also, what's her name? The silver trooper.
Phasma.
Yeah, Phasma. She got screwed.
Yeah, and you want to know what? That's the one thing that I really got annoyed on. Because I remembered them announcing that she was going to be a key part of the trilogy.
Yep, and she just died doing nothing.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, at the end of the first of the 3, it was, even though obviously we never saw her killed, her being shoved in a trash compactor and then the planet exploding, not exactly good for potentially of her surviving.
True.
It'll take more than
But
firepower
yeah,
to get
so
it.
it's
Especially
like-
given no one in command was like, "Where is Captain Phasma?"
Their defenses?
Cole Kantaris is familiar with the legislature's security.
And like
from his
also
days in the
in
Council
8,
Guard.
they kind of
He'll
just
be our best
completely
starting
forgot that the Knights of Ren
Find Captain
existed.
Kantaris in the
Yeah.
Council Guard
To be,
house in
they
Capital
didn't even
City.
really do much of them in 9.
They didn't do anything with them in 9, no, but they were kind of building them up to be something.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it should have been the Knights of Ren rather than keeping the Imperial Guard around.
We'll
Yeah.
go to the counselor.
Knights of Ren definitely
But
should have
we
been
can't go in
there.
blind. I'll get back to triple
Yeah.
point.
That's why they
You
kind
know
of just
our
had
next
to
move. My men will
ram
deliver.
the Knights of Ren into 9.
Hmm.
Because they just completely forgot that they were a thing for 8.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people had theorized that the night that in between time, in the time gapping, Knights of Ren risen and then they fell with only Ben being left, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is a fair thought that people have went on to. Right, okay, we can just walk back to the train.
Yeah. But like, there are a lot of elements in 9 that make me like it over 8. Like, for example, Rey actually has a character arc. She actually has development as a character. What? Because, like, pretty much she was already perfect. You know, she was already perfect in 7. She was already perfect in 8.
Though they still gave her the wrong lightsaber at the end.
Yeah.
Her thing should have been saber staff or a pole saber. Because, like, that would have fitted with her bow staff.
Yeah.
Because it really should have just been she mounted the blade. Like I said, go for the pole blade or the double-ended. A pole blade would have been, I think, obviously made her stand out more.
Yeah.
Because obviously you think for the main films, double-ended, Maul.
Yeah.
So let's her, because obviously, and when you look of like the main Jedi characters, obviously. Twin blade, you think of Ahsoka. So, yeah, like they
Well,
could.
technically, if we're talking about original ones, the original was
Dooku.
Asula, was it?
Well, Dooku was twin.
The Twi'lek.
I can't remember. Yeah, but you only see her wielding her. But you see Dooku wielding the twin blades first.
I mean, I don't know.
But yeah, like there's a. But obviously, like
Yeah,
when you
like-
think of it, it doesn't have to necessarily be the original. But like when you think of twin blades, it's Ahsoka is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, like
So-
I liked that Rey actually had some challenge to overcome because it made her more of a believable character, as opposed to, 7 and 8 where she was kind of already perfect at everything, and really was just trying to find her place in the universe.
Although there was one good line that showed that she wasn't perfect in 8.
Which was
The bit about her going straight for the darkness. Because when she was doing the whole, mirror thing, Luke comments about the fact that she went straight for the darkness, and that sort of had him start pushing her away again.
I mean, that's actually another thing that kind of could have, pointed towards Palpatine. The Palpatine relationship.
Well, I guess that's what they decided to build off it. I think, like the way they handled it definitely wasn't. Like, I think they should have just stuck with the old thing from Legends, which is, his cloning obsession.
Yeah, I think the cloning thing would have worked much better.
I mean, you could still have gone under the idea of like him being the parent, grandparent, but having it be that one of the clones got away and that was her father, rather than because. Yeah,
I think
in all fairness, Palpatine is not necessarily like he's not the sort of person that would have deliberately made a female clone to be his new body. Because he's going to want physical might and force might. Nothing to say. We've seen that female force users can be extremely powerful, but again, go by Palpatine's arrogance. He is the type who would be sexist. So he would be trying to create, and potentially he'd want it to be basically just his own genetics, really, just modified to what his needs.
And I think her being a clone, or a descendant of a clone of Palpatine, would have made much more sense as well in terms of Episode 8, because when she was looking through the mirror, you could see just multiple copies of herself.
Yeah.
When she asked the question who her parents were.
Yeah.
And if that was the mirror's response, it was just showing her copies of herself.
Yeah.
I think that would have been.
Yeah. Because in a way, even if you're a descendant of a clone of Palpatine, you are still kind of a no one, because the galaxy's not the nicest to clones in the end once the Empire took over.
Yeah.
Because look what do they do with the clone troopers? Toss them aside.
There probably would have been a better explanation.
I'd have preferred, like, that was the thing, like, I even said when there was the whole the reveal of, it's like, no, they should have done the clone route.
Yeah, I agree they should have done the clone route.
Because it's a much better bit. I mean, we're sort of getting hints of Palpatine's obsession with cloning through Bad Batch and Mandalorian.
You said a Guardian hold, sir? If there's some escape route nearby, we should have been told.
So
I was hoping you'd have some idea where to look.
we're so yeah, it's and anyway, when you see the one in Mandalorian, it does look like Snoke. I mean, yeah, they confirmed that in 9 anyway, but it's because the way I'm seeing it is the Snoke clones are just like rushed clones, temporary bodies until like a proper body can be established.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: when is Palpatine going to have had a kid?
This is fascinating, but I'm in a hurry.
Because he really doesn't seem like the type who would have,
Normally we could triangulate the bunker
what. So
yeah. Those points
and who would even want to have?
Well, bear in mind it would have been A when he would have looked like he did in Episode 1.
Yeah.
So not the scarred up thing that happened in Episode 3. So it would have, and if you.
There's Sith with them.
I mean, who really would want to do it with that?
Well, bear in mind, if we go, obviously it would have been done like pre Phantom Menace.
I hope you're right, sir.
And so to anyone, he is just the senator of Tatooine.
Yeah.
It's more realistic. It was more realistic when he say in his younger days, but it's also like with his planning and scheming, would he have the time?
Please be careful.
And then like would he have cared afterwards? I mean, beyond. Oh, is my kid force sensitive? No. Okay.
So it's like the aging, though, would kind of suggest it was after Episode 3. Oh, no, would it?
Well, hold on. How old's Rey meant to have been? Okay, no, because we think Rey was a little kid when left on Jakku. So the Battle of Jakku, which was like 2 years after Episode 6. So she would have been born I mean, she was what, like 4 or 5 at
She's
that point.
born 15 AB after the Battle of Yavin.
Which is just around the time of episode 6.
Yeah.
So, her father... Because Palpatine does note it was her father that was his son, so...
So they would have abandoned her at probably like the age of 6?
Yeah. Well, like I said, Jakku was 2 years after. We went the wrong way.
Oh, right. Well, we weren't concentrating, were we, really?
Yeah. Just want to set yourself to follow.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, 2... Yeah, because I said Jakku was like 2 or 3 ABY. Well, ABY, 2 or 3 years after Endor. And Rey was left on the planet after that, because you do see the ruined Star Destroyer in that sequence.
I'm walking back... Oh, no.
Sorry, I had the map up just to make it so I knew which way I was going. But yeah, so that would have been there. So yeah, like I said, she would have been, with her year of birth, so she was born around the time of Endor. Now, as for her parents, obviously we don't know how old her father was at the time.
Yeah.
If you go by, when Ezra and Luke were born, which was basically, Revenge of the Sith. And so they are... Luke at that point in the films was, what, in his mid-20s or something like that, by the episode 6.
Yeah.
So you can easily see the kid having been born, just like her father being born maybe like 10 years before episode 1 at the earliest. And just before episode 1 at the latest.
But the question is, though, if we're going by the whole clone theory, then...
Well, we know...
Palpatine have started...
Well, if we go by Bad Batch, because bear in mind, they took Nala Se prisoner, and who were the best people at cloning?
Yeah, the Kaminoans.
And how were the clone troopers created?
Through advanced aging, yeah.
Yeah. Only Alpha and Omega were not given that bit. Although I do find there's only one issue I have with Omega and how they talk about her.
What?
They talk about her being the only other pure genetic clone of Jango. She is not a pure genetic clone.
Because she's female?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a pure genetic clone would still be the same gender.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, she's also considered the same as the Bad Batch. So that's, again, ruins her being a genetic clone, because that confirms she has been tampered with, genetically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that they... So yeah, that's just the only thing there.
I don't know. I think the thing we can really agree on with the sequel trilogy, like
it's
I
a
basically
mess.
started off with, is it's a mess. It wasn't planned at all.
No, I mean
7 was fine.
Yeah. I will also bit. There is one. I'd say there's one little extra detail beyond obviously what's been coming out in the last few years that it really was Iger that was the problem.
Yeah.
Turns out George was kind of part of the instigation of some of the problems.
In what way?
So, certain bits of pre-development for doing new films was started before George sold to Disney to inflate the cost.
Right.
And part of the deal was Disney had to finish the work. So they kind of got a little locked into having to do it.
I heard differently. I heard that they didn't use his stuff at all.
No, but the deal meant they had... No, yeah, it may not have had to use his stuff, but, like, the concept of it, of, you know, a new run of films, you know, to be made, sort of thing.
I mean, yeah, but...
They
yeah,
were kind of contractually locked in that they had to do something.
Yeah. Okay, so they were contractually obligated to actually do...
Which, yeah, that's not going to help, because then you really see, like, yeah, they've... Almost in a... almost, like, buckled under pressure.
It's not really an It's not really an excuse,
no.
though, for Disney, of all people, to buckle under pressure trying to make 3 films. I mean, they've been doing the MCU for several years at that point, and
I think obviously you know what their first mistake was.
Not having a clear goal in mind.
Yeah, and but also what has made it has made it so that the MCU works. Having someone at the top who is creative, who has creative control to be able to manage it.
The only one who had overall control of the whole thing was Kathleen Kennedy.
And she's not...
But she's not a creative.
No, she's business. And then obviously there's the whole bit that Bob Iger was making decisions above her, which...
Why did we jump down here?
I fell down. We have to back off anyway, so...
Yeah, like, Kathleen Kennedy's not a creative.
And because if we go under what at least was the understanding by a lot of the workers, when before the whole ending up of it being sold to Disney, because everyone assumed it would still remain an independent studio, that it would have been a joint leadership with Kathleen and Dave.
Yeah.
With Dave overseeing all of the creative element while Kathleen handled the business side.
I think that would have been the best way to have...
Yeah.
I think had that had happened, we wouldn't have been in the situation.
No. Still no, didn't need to turn that off.
I think the problem was just Disney didn't have a plan when they should have had a plan in place. I mean, this is the people who made the MCU.
Yeah.
And they couldn't manage Star Wars. It's like...
They probably thought Star Wars is established enough by itself, it prints its own money. And considering how much money they just spent on it, it's like, yep, we need to remake that. Because they'd owned Marvel for quite a while at that point, bear in mind.
Yeah.
And Marvel at least had all the comics and whatnot to drag money back in. Which, obviously, Star Wars itself doesn't really. It's highly... Well, not just Star Wars, but Lucasfilm as a whole, because it does have a couple of other bits under it. But they had thought, oh no, that bit's a well-known enough element that it can handle itself. Let's just walk back to Uptown.
Well, I can't exactly.
Oh, I didn't notice you were. Oh, because I'd opened a map to see where the next spot was.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So where?
Oh wait, hang on. Uptown, because that's got a we got to drop a quest back there. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least now with Chapik in charge, he's trying to get things in order.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just...
And with, Dave Filoni being given more...
Well, he's basically been given the...
control.
Well, he's basically had the shackles holding him back removed.
Removed, yeah.
Because... You know, like, he had ideas and they were just being told no.
I mean, yeah, so, like, even though George Lucas was, wanted his
Yeah.
idea of a sequel trilogy to be done.
Yeah.
They weren't used. I mean, that's one of the things that he stated in an interview. That
Yeah, I know that bit, but I'm just aware. I've only sort of become more aware recently of, like, he basically locked them into having to do something.
I don't even really think that would have been an issue, because clearly Disney wanted to do something Star Wars.
Yeah. So
clearly, like, I mean, what would, they would have spent a lot of money on, Star Wars. What's a surefire guarantee that is gonna get that money back in some form? It's gonna be, another, trilogy.
Yeah. But again,
So
that you can also almost view there being a bit of arrogance that because it's Star Wars, it would deal with it itself.
Yeah. And so they had no plan, didn't have a clear director.
Hey, you know what it sounds like? A game company that was allowed to make some Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Except they actually made good Star Wars games. Because the company went downhill afterwards. Or while they're still working on one Star Wars game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for throwing that at you lot, BioWare, but it is kind of true. KOTOR was great, Old Republic's been great. Your other recent stuff, however... Yeah.
So yeah, it's like... I mean, EA and Disney deserve each other at this point.
Yeah, I mean, because remember, that was EA's whole thing of getting all the video games was Disney's, we don't make video games and whatnot, so we just leave it to someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, like, the whole thing was handled poorly.
Yeah, and as can be constantly pointed out with the EA, EA had exclusivity and they did basically nothing with it.
Yep.
Other than, hey, let's just anger all the fans with overly monetized FIFA trash.
Yep.
Right. Now I have to go around to get to that bit, so just anti-clockwise this bit.
I mean, even Mark Hamill really doesn't like how his character was handled in episode 8. And he was glad to come back for Mandalorian because he felt like their plan for Luke in that finale would actually kind of redeem what the last thing everyone kind of saw of Luke was.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of unfortunate that we aren't probably going to see more of, like, the Academy days. Because then we can really sort of see, like, we can get, like, a true case of, like, yeah, this is at the peak, and then as it all went wrong.
We can get an animation of it. Although I think Dave Filoni doesn't even really want to touch all the sequel stuff because he's sick of people asking him to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, he wants to do his own stuff.
Yeah.
He has his own ideas for stories and whatnot, and yet, yeah, some of them overlap with things people want to see, but others don't.
So, I mean...
You know, I mean, granted, given his now higher position, where he can actually have other people do the jobs.
Yeah, I mean...
If someone else comes along saying, look, I would like to work around this sort of area, he can be like, okay, can you sort of squeeze this in?
And get Jon Favreau to do it.
Well, he's busy enough with a lot of other stuff. It's...
True.
And again, it's just down to if it fits with what Favreau's sort of idea of what he wants to do.
He's too busy threatening Batman to get Superman to go back in time to save Aunt May.
But yeah, it's like, because obviously it only works if like the plot ideas overlap that work. Because something may not just allow the linking up of two story elements that, that people may want dealt with.
Yeah. The only real way that this whole thing can sort of be fixed is through just expanded media, which is ironic because that's kind of how the prequel films needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
Because the prequels needed the Clone Wars to kind of just make the prequels good.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Nostalgia Critic, right? He does not like the prequel trilogy. He likes the original trilogy, does not like prequel trilogy. But, he started, he was constantly being told to watch Clone Wars. And eventually he gave in and was like, okay, I'll watch Clone Wars. And he started watching it, and by the end, he was like, he has a newfound respect for George Lucas's vision for the prequel films. And like, he really likes Clone Wars, and...
Yeah. I mean, Clone Wars can be rough to get into because that film was... Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he knew that the film...
And the first couple of seasons... first couple of seasons can also be a bit rough in places.
Yeah. He was also told that the first couple of seasons weren't great.
But yeah, once you get past those, and like they've really sort of hit their stride, it's...
The interesting thing though is like, because obviously he was told that the first two seasons are not good, and then when he actually got around to seeing season 1 and 2, he was like, he really liked them, and he was like, man, if I really like these and they say these are like the worst of them.
Yeah, they're not bad. It's just like in comparison to everything else.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, they are a rough watch when you then see like where even ignoring season 7, because obviously that came far, far later, and Filoni had time to develop things even further.
Yeah.
So, but just compared to the other 4 seasons of the original run, like, yeah, they are a lot rougher. But then, because obviously season 7 puts all of it to shame. Particularly when I know people have issues with the Martez arc and the Bad Batch arc, but like Siege of Mandalore arc, that's the show at its peak.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, the Clone Wars stuff actually made the prequels better.
That's unfortunate, but you won't win.
So maybe some expanded, animated stuff will make...
Well, between the... well, not just the animated stuff, but, get the comics expand out there and whatnot.
I think, yeah, they just need... Because obviously there has been no clear direction throughout the sequel trilogy.
Which I think is maybe why they decided to go, you know what, let's just wipe the... Let's try working from an area where there's just a clean slate. Which is probably why they went to do High Republic, because it's like, let's just work from a clean slate time point. But even then, there's just...
Even then, High Republic isn't exactly...
The problem is, it's not... The books aren't the main draw for the whole franchise. It's the films, and the films, TV, and the video games that are kind of the main centerpieces.
There's a talking rock in one of the stories.
it's hard to obviously because they're obviously a lot of older Legend stuff is slowly being brought back, so it's hard to work out like is that a callback to Legends or not. I don't remember because, like I said,
it's also the navigator of the ship.
I mean, when you deal with a giant galaxy, you know anything is kind of possible.
You know when I say a rock, I mean an actual just like stone, like potato.
Yeah.
That needs to be carried around.
Yeah.
That yeah.
General Varsuthra, I've shut down
Very
the reactors.
very odd.
I repeat, the battle cruiser is under my control.
Wait, we were on a ship.
To secure the vessel and hold it for the Republic.
Day is ours, my friend.
Yeah. So I think
Varsuthra out.
if they can get a mind like Dave Filoni's to just consolidate everything that was made and try and fill in the gaps and try and connect everything, then
but you need to find someone who's willing to do that.
you need
Because they might look at it and go, "Yeah, this is just a hot mess. I don't really want
lost
to."
cause. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah, I mean, although again, I guess you can almost say that that's what Filoni and Favreau are slowly building towards. Because like the hints are there. Like I said, look at end of Bad Batch season. The end of Bad Batch. They've done little hints there with the cloning, and the same again in Mandalorian. So I think Filoni may have some ideas on it. It's just he doesn't want to just dump it quickly. He doesn't want to rush it out.
They're rarely what you expect. I will give you.
Because it could be he has like rough ideas, but he doesn't want to commit to something fully as he sort of works it all out with all these other projects existing as well.
My life has been a failure.
But I think eventually they could make it.
Yeah, I think eventually we will get there, but like he doesn't want to rush into it. Let them tell their own stories.
The Lego Christmas special, actually made more development for Finn than episode 8 or 9 did.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, 9. Yeah, no, 9 did nothing for Finn.
9
did nothing for Finn,
Yeah.
but 8 did nothing for Finn either.
Hope.
They had no plan for Finn, and even the actor knows it. The actor knows they had no plan for Finn.
Right.
In episode 8, he just kind of was sent on a pointless venture to a planet.
Yeah.
And in 9, he just became an MP3 player screaming Ray all the time. But like in the very short Lego Christmas special, they actually acknowledged that Ray is trying to teach Finn how to use the Force.
Yeah. I mean, that's at least the one. That was really like a really cool element they did in the first film of the 3.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it was all marketed with him being the one with the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Which, and like the way they always shot things around him as well, it actually really did make it seem like, oh, maybe he is the one with the Force. So, like, sort of then, even though they were doing the stuff with Rey as well, so it sort of looked like, oh, both of them. Which would have been a cool thing to have built into more.
Yeah, but he had a destiny with a casino planet, so that kind of ruined that.
Yeah, as I said, that was the biggest mistake of that film. Like, anyone who can defend that... Like, and I know some people do defend that bit, but it's just like... That is the thinnest, like, bit to defend.
It's like that whole thing is so pointless.
I know.
They go there, rescue a bunch of animals, get a guy who says he's a coder, and then betrays them to the First Order.
Yeah.
Their whole venture basically help.
And then the reason they went to,
their doom.
and the reason they also went in the first place, like was undone anyway because Ray had also come aboard. So, like, the whole reason for them doing what they were doing was unnecessary.
Yeah, and like Rose, like I feel sorry for the actress.
She took so much abuse.
She took so much abuse that she didn't deserve, because clearly
It wasn't her; it was the script.
It was the script. Like the moment I saw the character in the film, it's like she just felt like a person that they picked up from the Star Wars resort in Disneyland, and they was just sort of geeking out. That's kind of what it felt like. They just sort of felt like a fan who got to be part of the story.
Which is kind of funny, given some of the cameos in other places.
So, like, that's why I didn't like Rose.
I mean,
I never held
there
it
was
against the actor.
ideas with the character which were good to explore, like, yeah, the effect of war. Like, of your own family dying. That was something they could have touched on.
Nope, she's really happy. Pretty much the entire film.
Because she could have served the entire point of Canto Blight in her own character interactions. Which was basically, show that people are not all just, straightforward and whatnot and all that sort of stuff. Like, without going there, she could have done that entire bit in one or two scenes.
Do not test my patience.
If you've come to accuse us of selling Corellia to the Empire, save your breath.
Jedi, please understand. We can all agree these consequences are unfortunate. But some of us were buying time. The Empire's offer was a chance to save Corellia and her people.
And then those same people nearly ruin everything by fighting back.
Yeah.
You sold their homeworld to the enemy. What did you expect to happen?
Why can nobody understand? Profit and security against inevitable annihilation.
Why is it us being on this planet feels very reminiscent of stuff going on in the real world at the moment?
Yeah.
Reinforcements. Oh, I am sorry.
Please.
That guy's face just looked like he needs a bit of makeup on it, and he's the Joker.
He looked like Willem Dafoe.
Well, that, yeah.
Enough. This is your last chance to tell me where the first son went.
Oh, yes, of course. You seek the children.
No. You're one of them.
The Emperor's words make everything clear, Jedi. The first son will prevail, and you will die.
Alright, Green Goblin. Let's go at it.
So now we know what reality he got sent back to.
Yeah.
Or is this just another variant that went somewhere else?
I see you haven't done the lightsaber, the weapon thing yet.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that. Anyway, I need to get back to... I'd have needed to have gone back to my ship to deal with that and whatnot. Oh, I've got the cargo holds, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I've got the cargo hold bays I can just summon, so...
Counselor Sayak was one of the children? What if I am too? What if I'm about to become some Sith puppet?
Your selfishness is truly remarkable.
No, please! You've got to protect me! The first son. You can stop him, and then we'll all be fine, right? I'll be safe? There's a hatch that leads into the caves beneath Coronet City. The first son went there, to our last sanctuary.
This confrontation has been too long delayed.
Guardian Hold 1 must be held.
too many are wounded. You stop first, son. We defend your back.
Let your intuition guide you.
I understand.
Our men will give you as long as possible. But
Hey, we just killed you, dude.
If you succeed, meet us back at the ship.
Well, old him.
We are ready when you are, Jedi.
Yeah, we just killed your dad.
Look at all the Mandalorian helmets lined up in a row.
Nope, they're not
except
there.
Kaizen.
Nope, they're not. None of them are wearing it in my screen.
Really?
No, they're all in their default uniforms.
This won't be easy. Stay focused. I can't afford any distractions.
Keep your head, we'll keep ours. Come on, work to do.
That's unfortunate. Right. I mean, the way they're setting up Corellia's story, like, they're really making you think it's, like, the final thing. You know? All the companions joining you out on the story.
Yeah. So I haven't had that bit. I just have all the various NPCs I've met showing up.
I've been having just a great time with all my companions, just joining in on the fights and stuff. Oh hey, look, Jedi Master Seo Bakan. Can I just stab him in the back now?
Yeah.
I applaud you, Jedi. Your fortitude and courage are remarkable. No one has ever proved themselves to me.
You are a traitor, and the children are cowards hiding behind endless lies.
You always did have an inexorable will. Learning the shielding technique was only more evidence of your fascinating mind. But then, you chose to save Lord Vivicar, risking your own life. Intriguing.
I'm more concerned with the present than the past.
You should never have come here without your army's protection. Losing you will shatter the Rift Alliance. The Republic will collapse. Fear, not war, will be the Republic's end. They will know the children remained, shielded by my will, and that their last hope is dead.
Yeah.
The Rift Alliance is more than one person, and the Republic is greater still.
Even now, you cling to your convictions. Such a mind. You would have been unstoppable as one of us. But it's too late. I cannot let you live.
Dude, you could have stabbed in the back.
What would have been the fun in that? You know how Sith like to toy with their prey.
Yeah, but
Force pushing the balls.
Kira, you were facing the wrong way.
Gonna put us down? Okay.
Why, Jedi? I stand unique among all other men in the galaxy. Why must I be destroyed?
You've deceived, corrupted, murdered. Death is the least you deserve.
I am not.
Now, Master Seo, while he's weak, take control and unmask the other children.
Seo. That's my name. That's who I... No. I can't stop him.
It will not end like this.
Oh no, you killed him.
It's gone. We're safe. Weird, I feel sort of empty.
We destroyed both a great evil and a great force for good.
I guess we both need some time. Let's get topside. I've got your back.
Huh. Looks like more rocks fell on top. Pretty sure I only saw one fall on top of him.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they didn't give you an option to save him.
Hmm. But where will the plot go with that?
Yeah, true.
We should be able to stealth this bit.
What was the name of the actor who played as Rose? Wasn't it? What was it? Oh, Kelly Marie Tran. I remember, like, I think she did, like, something really good after Star Wars. It was actually, like, you know, pretty good in that role.
Mm-hmm.
I think. So at least she kind of, you know, got something better afterwards. I think. Maybe not. Oh no, never mind. I was right. Yeah. After after Star Wars, she voiced the protagonist in Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah.
That's what she was from. Yeah, that's what it was. And yeah, I really liked her character in that. So.
Good you're here. We've got trouble. You remember Counselor?
But I'm glad that Disney kind of were like, hey, as compensation, here's another role.
Legislature yet. The Empire has taken control of the Ion Wall, Corellia's most powerful defense system. They're planning to use it against the Republic.
This would have been nice to know earlier.
This thing's news to me too. Apparently, it wasn't something the Council Guard needed to know about.
The Ion Wall was only intended to be used.
So many mistakes.
It's a weapon of last resort.
Mm-hmm.
So many mistakes.
Why not turn it on the legislature's defenses instead?
Some that cannot be taken back.
You know the legislature best. Would this work?
It's not like they can even do they can't even really just do a reboot of the sequel trilogy either. Because, well, Carrie's passed away.
Statues around Capitol Square. Once the emitters are realigned, the Ion Wall can be activated. The controls are located inside intracorellian intelligence.
That's the catch. Intracorellian intelligence was one of the first places the Empire took over. It'll be crawling with Imperials.
Could we sneak inside somehow?
No chance. It's an intel bureau. For all we know, the Empire's listening to this comm call right now.
The Imperials aren't the only danger, I'm afraid.
Oh, bloody hell.
Members of the Dark Council arrived in
it's already
Capitol
5
Square
past 10.
a few days ago. One of them, Darth Acheron, was
how much? Do you know how much is left of this planet?
We're in the final zone of the planet.
You'll have to get past him.
I'm after the Emperor. The Dark Council can't be much worse.
You'd know best. Me, I wouldn't bet any credits on it.
This planet does not have a bonus, so
Contact me once you've activated
as far as I recall, so
the guardhouse is still linked to the legislature. We can't control their defenses, but we can tell when they go down. I'll get Corsac and the Republic into position. The minute you activate the Ion Wall, we attack.
Mm-hmm.
lucky. There's quite a few bits in front of us. I mean, I've finished my storyline on this planet. So I guess we gotta just do your storyline. And hopefully, like, these bits aren't gonna take too long.
That whole thing. Come on, look.
One thing I kind of hope the past is like maybe they gave you like extra stuff for going over tier 100. So I've reached the end of the pass.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just I guess like a cartel pack would have been too much to ask for. Wouldn't it, really?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's where you can say Ubisoft got something right.
Yeah.
Free pack every 5 levels.
Yeah.
Because even if it's a duplicate, it's at least something.
Yeah.
Because you get
I guess at the same time, with like the Star Wars Republic Battle Pass, you get for free if you're a subscriber.
Yeah. And you're already getting monthly cartel coins, so
yeah. It is kind of like a bonus on top, really, the way it is. Battle Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, tier 100 gives you this.
Yeah, I looked through all the bits.
It has movable bits. Yeah, like, this planet feels like the last. Like, even with the, like, that story mission of mine. No, I just killed my Jedi Master, well, a Jedi Master. It wasn't necessarily my one. My one was the one who was ill.
Mine died at the end of the first act.
Mine was this female...
Yeah, I know, so yeah, mine's been dead for a long time.
Yeah, I don't so yeah, not my Jedi Master, but like a Jedi Master who was on the council and had some interactions with me on Python. Big bad at the end of this. I mean that seems like some end game stuff. But I guess we still got one more planet after this though before.
Yeah, although the last planet's a weirder one.
In what way?
It's all just planetary quest.
Oh.
Because it's like the culmination of like the, you know, generic story.
Yeah. So
on both
really
sides.
The character storyline,
though my one it does sort of spill over into. Because my whole thing has been trying to take down the Emperor, and like there's actually even though the Emperor's not the threat in that one, it's the Sith Lord who's been the cover of the game. Like he does stuff. Like his whole bit does involve like trying to take the Emperor's power and whatnot. So like I say, it does kind of spill into mine a tiny bit. Same with the Sith Warrior, because they're doing stuff for the Emperor, so it spills into theirs. But like it's a very loose spillover sort of thing. Because like the final mission of the base game is a flashpoint.
Yeah, we've got a flashpoint to do actually, but before we go to Elden.
Yeah, the Red Raid or something like that.
I don't know.
Red Reaper. Yeah, I'll look it up.
Yeah. And hopefully it doesn't require 4 people to
That
like
was
the last one we tried.
Yeah, that's annoying. Like they adjusted the entire system, and yet they forgot to adjust that one.
It does explain why we weren't able to, you know, summon our companions. Well, no, it was that we didn't get any bonus support.
Yeah.
But normally we would have.
Yeah.
Do you know if like my story also ends here or on Elden?
I don't know.
Have you done the consular storyline before?
Not all of it.
Couldn't hold them back.
Here they are now.
Because obviously at the start, before Martin had his own computer bit, he used it on mine. And he was the one who mostly did the consular one.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Soldiers are often more trouble than they're worth. You deserve better from your opponents.
I want access to the ion wall controls.
The Republic did well to send you here. If activated, the ion wall would disable ships, artillery, even the weapon in your hand. But your contact should have told you that the ion wall cannot be destroyed through the controls alone.
I have no knowledge of this to speak of.
You should pray the Republic can protect its spy better than you have.
He bought this on himself. But today.
The ion wall's been activated, Counselor.
And it worked perfectly. The Empire's scrambling to find reinforcements. Now's your best chance. General Hayes is starting the assault. Head for the legislature. Catch up with their men inside.
I've been ready for this fight since I landed.
Don't get caught up in revenge. The Republic has to win first. I must go. The Empire's moving the Council to a secure location. No more comm calls. I bet my life on a Republic victory. Don't disappoint me now.
Don't die on us.
He's sus. Right. No, we can't access it that way.
Yeah, no, we just go the other way.
It was an ambush, General. Imps came through a hidden entrance. Lost our CO, but the cavalry showed up just in time.
You've got my thanks. The ion wall did plenty of damage. The Empire's recovering fast. The Corellian Council's shortcuts aren't helping. As long as the Empire has the Council, they have their inside knowledge. We have to find them.
The Empire's the one shooting at us.
We've lost our inside man. The Empire still has theirs. At this point, there's no such thing as a small advantage. We've gone over the schematics with Captain Kantaris. He's identified a holdout room intended to keep the Council safe in an emergency. Darth Hadra of the Dark Council was their escort. If they're in the holdout room, she'll be in there with them.
Strategy time.
Darth Acheron was a loose cannon. Is Darth Hadra the same?
She's much more subtle. You'll lose your head before she does. You have Republican of course.
Nah.
Captain
We won't
Kantaris
lose our
is
heads
his own
first.
soul, but assures me his officers will come if called. The Green Jedi has also promised to send who they can spare.
I've never heard of the Green Jedi.
Special enclave dedicated to protecting Corellia. You'll understand the name when you see their robes.
Oh, because the robes are all purple. Got it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Use them to call for backup. Remember, the Corellian Council is the Empire's ace in the hole. Find them before there are any more surprises.
Oh, off we go. Oh, hello. Hey guys, we're just looking for the cafeteria.
I got a crystal from him.
It's war in here. I need trained soldiers.
Locating nearest Republic squad. Transmitting your location.
Oh hey, yeah, we haven't cleared them all out. He shot him in the crotch.
So rude.
Right,
I'm on my way. Where'd you go?
just avoided enemies and around.
Alright, stealth. Stealth mode activate.
Cool.
Dun 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 dun
Captain Kentaris. Corsac is tracking you now.
Like it exploded open and they walked through the rubble. That had blocked their path.
Oops. Too close to the left, to the left. Too close to the left, to the left. Right.
Oh well. Damn, that one didn't really put up much of a fight.
The fight I'm heading for could use another Jedi.
Patching through to the Green Gardens, uploading your coordinates.
You just called them Green Gardens, not Green Guardians.
Green, yeah.
Congratulations, you idiot. You had one drop, one. Wait, you have a.
Shooting.
Oh, they got vibro
Vibro.
Swords. Why do we not get to wield such cool weaponry?
I do not know.
Yeah, we need to be on the opposite side of this bit. The thing's over here.
Yes, of course.
I assure you, Darth Adra, this holdout room is impenetrable.
She's using Satil's head design.
Save your breath, Counselor.
Just minus the
Your
extra
little
tail,
hiding place was not
the extra
an
braiding on the
iron
back.
wall. You've turned the legislature into a battlefield. Is this your plan to lure the council back to the Republic?
The time for that has passed.
The council has the authority here. You may have the Corellians, but we have Corellia. After seeing the damage to the legislature, I was expecting an army. You should have come prepared. The holdout room is designed to protect and hide the Council. There are no comm stations here. All transmissions are blocked. Your allies are out of reach. Can you face me without your precious Republic?
I've beaten too many Sith Lords to back down now.
The Council stands with the Empire. Killing me won't change that.
Who said we weren't doing it for fun? When I heard you were going after the Council, I rounded up Corsek's best. I wouldn't miss this for anything.
Then you've chosen your fate. Those who resist Imperial rule will die by my hands.
Ooh, that's new. Didn't think purple was a Sith color.
A fair few games used it as an alternate to red.
What does that make Mace Windu then?
I know, it's... Although when you bear in mind, yellow and / orange got used a fair bit by both sides, so...
Well, counselors, looks like it's
so we never saw a yellow before the film. During the film.
I thought one of the training sabers we saw had it.
I want all of them. Counselor Balos, too.
I spied on the Empire. I lied to a Sith Lord. I risked my life to help the Republic.
You were the first to suggest we join the Empire, Balos. How many credits were you offered to change your mind?
Is this true, Counselor Balos?
The Empire made overtures and I introduced them to the Council. Does that even matter now?
It does to me. It matters to every man, woman, and child who died trying to undo it. The Council made themselves kings at Corellia's expense. They all deserve to be punished.
I don't want to win the role. I'm just going to let mine time out.
You all started this war. Nothing can make up for that.
Take note, Captain Kataris. This is how the Republic repays her allies.
Only the ones who joined the Empire, Counselor. General Aves will want a status update. Give us a minute to restore communications in here. Can you hear us, General?
Coming through fine, Captain. Without
that was instant.
The Empire's fallen back on old tactics. They're not working. Once the legislature falls, the Empire will be vulnerable. I've got several squads ready to push them off Corellia. But they'll need a signal.
Broadcast comm in the Speaker's courtyard. Your signal will hit every comm station on Corellia, if you can reach it.
Just tell me where to go.
Speaker's courtyard is being protected by Darth Decimus, the last of the Dark Council members sent to Corellia.
He convinced the Corellian Council to join the Empire. He won't let Corellia go easy.
You won't have any backup here. Corsek's holding the Council. The Green Jedi are defending their enclave, and my men are in position.
I'll have the Force on my side.
Just remember, it only takes one good shot to kill someone, Jedi or no.
Once you've defeated Darth Decimus, contact me on the broadcast comm. I'll be waiting for your signal.
This is it. One Sith Lord between us and freedom. Corellia's
freedom for about 3,000 years anyway. I mean, that's the question we have to consider. Is it all worth it?
We're going the wrong way.
Yep, I just noticed that. Ironically, they saw you before me. I thought I was the one that did it. So I was just gonna go trigger the stealth and thought I left it too late.
Most of these guys will die to the point, so.
Has your character forgotten how to stealth? Hey, dude.
An elite squad, doubtless constructed for this very purpose. Perhaps the Republic has some strategy after all.
Nah.
Your progress across
We're just passing through. We're not here for anything.
From this historic stage, I'll declare Corellia an official member of the Empire. Even your efforts cannot sully that.
I'm declaring a Republic victory. Should be an interesting broadcast.
Because you've taken the legislature? There's more to Corellia than Capital Square. When the Empire evaded, the Council provided coordinates. Coronet City's docks were emptied. Those who resisted were killed. The fleet moved into the shipyards. Imperial troops spread to Capital Square. Truly a glorious sight.
You won't live to see it again.
Winning this battle will not win you the war.
Okay, then.
He's gone.
Darth Decimus is defeated, General. Tell your men the legislature is ours.
No need to. Broadcast comm just sang it across Corellia. It's up to our reserves to push the Empire out completely. But we're already seeing major retreats. Corellia is free. We're getting ready to declare a formal victory to the Senate. Head for the press room when you're ready.
How much more? How did you get here before us?
That's what I want to know.
Supreme Chancellor Suresh. Senators. The Republic's
Oh, jeez, I forgot she became Supreme Chancellor.
It's all cleanup from here.
Because when we met her, she was the governor of Tython. Not Tython, Taurus.
Plenty of help from our allies.
And yeah, like some of the stuff, like she would rather not deal with certain things. So
thank you for your service to the Republic.
yeah.
The General tells us you were indispensable.
I expect more than thanks for a fight like that.
The Senate understands the risk you took. You'll be rewarded handsomely.
The Senate's heard many rumors about the Imperial invasion of Corellia. Before we continue, we'd like to hear the truth.
The Empire moved in with the Corellian Council's blessing. We fought their inside knowledge all the way to Capital Square.
The Council showed no remorse for their actions. They've been arrested and removed from office.
The Council was loyal to the Republic for years. Why would they abandon us now?
The Council forgot they answered to the people.
After all the noise we made, I don't think they'll forget again.
With the Council in jail, Corellia has no local leadership. There could be riots, crime sprees, further destruction.
Shouldn't she be standing outside of the hollow thing?
To take direct control. Who should lead Corellia through their recovery?
We've got a war to fight. Corsa can handle things here.
We'll hold elections for a new council soon. Should be nice not answering to anyone for a while.
Corellia is one of our founding planets.
So literally, how high that wall is around her, she should be...
How many more worlds might be on the brink? You brought Corellia back to the Republic. You have the Senate's attention. How can we prevent other worlds from joining the Empire?
Corellia might look...
Damn it, I don't know what type of category you picked there.
This isn't our first victory, and it won't be our last. We will have peace. The Republic won't stop fighting until the Empire surrenders. Neither will I.
Inspiring words. The Senate will support your efforts.
Before you go, we'd like to thank you properly. There's no medal or title that equals what you've accomplished.
It's like how some have just casually sat down in the chairs.
Stripes, Corellia's highest honor, awarded to those who keep fighting despite the odds.
I also ended a blockade, beat the Imperial Guard, took on the Dark Council.
When we can fit all that on a medal, we'll contact you.
Free Corellia from the Empire and set events in motion that may end this war. You deserve more than our thanks. Our victory today sends a message. The Republic may falter, but we will never fall. As long as we keep fighting. Senators, let your voices be heard. Stand and recognize these heroes of the Republic.
The Senate is really tiny at this point in time.
Yeah, it really is.
You know what? I feel just like Chewbacca did at the end of A New Hope. We basically got nothing.
You know what's funny though? That crowd looked more realistic than the crowd in East football.
Yeah. I mean, we can just quick travel to Uptown.
Up, down, da, da, da. Up, down, da, da.
Right, and then...
I got mail.
Yeah.
We just gotta go and do your thing.
Yep. Just...
And we gotta use our ship's intercom.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Probably, yeah. That was...
Let me get this straight. Not only did you save millions of lives, but you and your strike team seized an Imperial battle cruiser? No, doesn't sound any less incredible when I say it out loud. The rogue Jedi you were after. Did you catch him?
Master Braga is no longer under the Emperor's control. He's returning to Tython.
Not sure how I feel about him going free. At least he isn't our problem anymore. Welcome back, General. My scouts say they've never seen such a decisive victory.
We got the Empire running. Their command and control network is in shambles. These Jedi troops performed brilliantly. I'm recommending this brave Jedi army for the Republic's top military honor. You've all earned it.
The Jedi Order is grateful for the recognition.
I know you can't stay, but Corellia needs the rest of us. This battle isn't over by a long shot. Promise I'll take good care of your people here. May the Force be with you.
Okay, so yeah, I guess the best thing then is what? Shipwright Cantina. For getting back to the ship.
Oh, I was just going to use my priority transport personal starship.
Oh yeah, whichever way you find. Yeah, I forget that exists.
Don't suppose you actually want to see the thing going on or not?
No, because obviously just with time. Yeah, I'm getting stuck. I went the wrong way. Stop getting stuck on everything. Ba-da-ba-ba. Yeah. Before I use the comm panel, I want to go into here first. Pull out me lightsabers. Alright.
I've got to travel to Coruscant now.
Okay, hang on, I need to color crystals. Okay. Okay.
Doing all my campaign, my companion little talks.
Today.
Master Satil.
I've got to travel to Taris as well now.
Republic forces have gained the upper hand, and Master Braga is no longer aiding.
Because
I successfully broke the Emperor's domination
wants me to go there with him.
Master Braga is on his way to Tython.
Yeah, so I was just getting my lightsabers back to what I wanted them
I've
as.
also learned the Emperor is on Dromund Kos. His efforts against us have weakened him. Our enemy is vulnerable. For now.
The Emperor is determined to destroy the galaxy. It's him or us.
You must face the Emperor again. And this time you cannot fail.
I'm stronger than the last time we met.
Drummond Kaas is the Imperial capital. Legions of Sith call it home. The remaining population is almost entirely Imperial military. We're invading a planet of people who want us dead. We'll have to fight for every centimeter of ground.
We won't even be able to land on Drummond Kaas unless the enemy is too distracted to notice.
We must surprise the Empire by doing what they least expect. A frontal assault on their homeworld. Jedi and Republic warships will converge on Drummond Kaas and will engage the Imperial fleet. We will mask your assault on the surface.
The real fight will be on the planet. Can you spare anyone for that?
We'll attract less attention without your forces stirring up the Imperial army. I will help you navigate the planet's defense network and land safely. After that, no promises.
Your success or failure will not merely decide the galaxy's fate. It will change everything. Forever. Find the Emperor and stop him once and for all.
Baron done?
May the Force be with you.
Now Nadia.
I now understand why your council tries to control your pleasure as well as your anger. Pleasure is a far more powerful motivator.
What good is having power if you can't enjoy how it feels?
Power is only one of life's pleasures. I still remember the feel of sunlight on my skin, the scent of favorite foods, the color of my first love's eyes. To experience those simple pleasures again would be worth anything.
See? You haven't lost your humanity after all.
Do not mock me. I understand why your council controls you.
Alright,
What
that's
I'll never
all of
comprehend
Nadia's
is why you let them.
stuff done, which just leaves Urso.
You have surprised
I'm just
me,
dealing with my
Jedi.
companions
You
now.
have the heart of a Sith.
Because otherwise I've got to storm Drummond Kaas.
You would be sitting on the Dark Council now. It is too late to turn you fully from the light. But should your children have a connection to the Force, I will see them properly trained.
Was that a compliment or a threat?
How did you take it? The Force is strong in you. Too strong for the restrictions the Jedi impose. Had you been instructed in the true way of the Force, the galaxy could not match your power. I will make sure that mistake does not happen again.
Alright, that's Urso sorted. What's your mission telling you to go to?
Travel to Drummond Kaas.
Okay, so...
Which will be a special one on my map, because it's not a normal,
When I was first given this
you know,
assignment,
location
I
for
believed it would
Republic
be an excellent
side.
opportunity to
Okay.
serve the Republic.
So I'll just do this thing on my own then.
Yeah, we'll have to do it
The
next
greatest
week,
honor
though.
of my life.
Might be, so obviously by the time I be done with all my
Serve with
companions and
Squad
whatnot.
anytime, Sergeant.
Thank you, Master Jedi. I
just have to go to
promise I'll train this
Coruscant
squad to be the most
Mhm.
efficient fighting
and
machine
speak
in
to
the
the
Republic,
the
even
new
the droid.
Supreme Chancellor.
I'm with you until the bitter
Mm.
end. Victory or death.
But even my trooper playthrough, I told her she could basically bite the barrel of my gun because I didn't like her. Because she was basically telling me to do stuff which was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Mm.
So,
If someone was going crazy, would your Jedi powers let you know?
I don't need Jedi powers to see you've been avoiding me lately.
I haven't avoided you at all. Believe me. Thing is, I've been thinking about someone. A lot.
I wonder if this is the end of the storyline
Sounds like you're developing real feelings for her. She must be special to you.
for
Pop
the
doesn't
Jedi
develop feelings.
Consular.
She is special. I'm going crazy. I don't want to be the only one. You think she might feel the same way about me?
She keeps coming back, despite her better instincts. That can only mean one thing.
Normally I'd kiss you for talking like that.
No guild controls Coruscant. Interesting.
There's a reason we never stopped with just one kiss.
Yeah, next week we're gonna sort of do all the flashpoints.
I keep waiting for
or if there's only one, you know.
It's one and then there's 2 flashpoints basically left. But like I said, the second one is actually triggered through a chain of story bits. Once we're on Ilum.
Alright, you win. Here's the deal. I'm good looking, smart, and charming. I'm a top-flight medical specialist who does charity work. I've completely stopped looking at other women, which should be physically impossible. Bottom line, I'm pretty sure I love you. The galaxy could end.
We actually fight
no excuse not to get married.
The Emperor.
My one deals with the Emperor. Like I said, the joint story thing deals with like someone stealing the Emperor's power.
And I want us to be together.
For a second,
which, like I said, is the guy who's been, like I say, on the cover of the game. On the Sith side.
I am Ceremony, Gala, and Ritual Droid designation CGR-80. You may call me Seeger. Shall we begin your joining?
There's no time like the present.
I've been keeping Seeger on standby.
Wait,
Getting
Malgus.
cold feet and running for it.
Please hold hands while I recite the terms of bonding.
So wait, is Malgus the Emperor, or is Malgus the one stealing the power?
He's the one stealing, because the Emperor is just the Emperor. Because that's the one that Revan disappeared trying to deal with.
Oh, right.
And
So
kind of...
is Malgus the one? Malgus was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Malgus is the one we're doing a deal with in that flashpoint. But the last one.
I do. Now and forever.
Do you take this woman as your wife?
And I'm going, screw the Jedi Code, I'm getting married right here. So my character's getting married to one of my companions.
Distance and all the barriers between. The terms of bonding are complete. You may now kiss.
Yeah. Damn it, droids.
Well, it's not actually an option to get married, it's just...
No, I'm actually getting married to Doc.
Seeger, be a good droid and deactivate.
That's actually the quest. That actually is part of the quest line. The two of you getting married. At least, obviously, if you're doing a female character.
Yeah, I don't get that with Urso though.
You and me together forever.
Odd.
Mm.
Never imagined it happening like this.
I mean, there is a bit on the Sith side, like obviously because they don't have like marriage, it's different there. But
it sounded good.
Sith Warrior, if you're playing the male one, you basically and if you turn, so you actually can when you actually get a Jedi companion, you can actually set them to be a light or dark side one, and you can actually have a relationship with them if you flip them to the dark side. But if you don't, you only get one chance to set whether they're light or dark.
Yeah.
So you missed the opportunity. Well, that's your problem. Right, I'm going to move my ship to the Republic fleet, and that's where I'll call it. Because, yeah. Just dump that in storage, and that's all good. Because, yep. Right. So yeah, we'll continue. We'll get on with I'll do Drummond Cast next Saturday. Well, do you want to do the Drummond Cast bit first, or do the Flashpoint first? We'll work that out. But yeah, so next Saturday will be. Well, probably won't be the last part for the base game. Probably at least another 2-3 episodes. But yeah, we're nearly at the end of the base game.
Yep.
So, one planet left. So, yep. Alright, everyone. Night.